Okay, everyone, welcome, welcome. This is going to be, like I said, a Q&A style webinar for Hot Prospector. We're going to go into some of the basics of what Hot Prospector does, and we're also going to talk about some of the more advanced features. I'm really going to be relying today on the questions that come in from you as the user, as the person who's actually putting this into action. So don't worry, there's no bad question. Even if it seems like it's something really simple, I'd love to go ahead and answer it for you. We're going to take this Q&A webinar, and I'm going to try to put it on the inside of Hot Prospector in the training area for those people that are just looking for this type of content. We may also use it down the road to get an idea of what kind of Q&As are available. So cool, awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you have a question, go ahead and put it into the chat box. And while you're doing that, I'm going to log into my account. Hopefully everything logs in properly. I know last time I had some sort of an issue with my own account. Couldn't get in. Okay, beautiful. So we're logged in here, or almost logged in. My internet's going a little slow as always, thanks to good old GoToWebinar. But okay, so awesome. First off, let's just go ahead and start with the videos. Oh, a few things I want to cover before we get started. First off, Hot Lead Finder. Okay, there's a lot of people here that are owners of Hot Lead Finder. If you don't have Hot Lead Finder, why not? It's free. You should have it. So I'm going to show you these couple of features here that we just recently added and tell you what we're working on with Hot Lead Finder. So we'll start with that. Google is a new feature that we just added. If you look down here at the bottom, right? Originally we had Google Ads, which is still there, but we've recently added Google. And with the Google search, you can just do a keyword search. So we'll go ahead and search for, let's say, florists in Las Vegas, and just hit search. One of the things I love about Hot Lead Finder is it allows you to like decide what category you want to search for. Which, if you specifically just want to go to Yellow Pages, or if you specifically just want to go to Google Ads, you have the ability to do that. Where a lot of these other tools, they pull from all of them or none of them. I don't know. I just thought I'd mention that because I think it's cool. All right, so that's the very first thing. Now, if you see here, what this is doing is this is actually going and using Google's API for the Google Maps, and it's pulling in all of the details, okay, from the Google API. Now, some of you also have noticed that the remove duplicates option is gone, and that's because we are automatically removing duplicates now as we search. And also we strip out the text. We may make a change to the strip here of the special characters out of the phone field just because, well, long story short, it seems to be affecting the citation search. So we might have an update here coming out in the next few days that will put the characters back in, at least until after a citation search is performed. But anyways, what we've added here is we get the additional information that's provided by Google. We find out their rating, we find out how many reviews they have, we find out their lowest review, and we find out their highest review, along with if they have photos in their listing. Okay, you can still search if they have a mobile website. You can still search for citations. Now, the other thing that we've added, if you notice there's no emails here, is the ability to parse the website. So if you click on parse websites, just go ahead and watch here what happens. It's going to go ahead, and there you see it's going to their website, and it's grabbing additional information. So you'll see sometimes they may have different phone numbers, but also it's grabbing the email off of the website. So this is a really cool feature that we've recently just added that people are loving. And now, in order to get this, all you have to do is update to the most recent version, which is 3.9.6. Okay, and that's all available. Also, in this in this update, we've also fixed Home Advisor and also Manta. So those are two fixed. Now, just a quick thing I want to mention on the direction of where we're headed with Hot Lead Finder for those of you that that are curious. I decided that we're going to keep the Manta search, but we're gonna add it in also as a feature where the searches, as they're happening, it will go and search the internet, search Google, based off of the phone number to see if there's a Manta listing, and then grab the name of the owner if it's available on Manta, rather than, and the other additional information that's available on Manta, rather than going and just doing an individual search on Manta. Okay, you'll still have the ability to do the Manta search, but where we're headed is I want to make it to where Manta is just kind of included. So if you do a Yellow Pages search, it's going to go behind itself and search on Google to see if there's a Manta listing. And if there is a Manta listing, then it's going to grab whatever information is there, like business name, or owner name, business information like how many employees, and that sort of thing is available. Okay, so that's something that we're in the process of working on. I can't give you any time frames on when that's going to come out, but it's definitely something that we're working on. I know that my developer told me that it should only be a few days for the business information and all that stuff to be added to Manta, so I'm expecting that hopefully next week. Okay? All right. Now, if you don't have Hot Lead Finder, you can get it at mark-helton.com/hot-lead-finder, and I'll just go ahead and throw that in the chat here for everybody. Chat. There we go. And
hello, this is Mark Helton.
And when you get here, you'll see this is a little quick overview. It doesn't cost you anything. Just click on download, and then it'll take you to this other page where you have to fill out some information. And then when you fill that information out, it'll take you to the download page. The download page is actually part of it's provided by Adobe Air. So you may notice on the download page how it says, even after you've clicked on the download, it may say something like, try again. That's something that we can't change. That's something that's coded into the Adobe Air download delivery option or whatever that they give us. So that's just a bug. If you see that, or it's not really even a bug, it's just the way that they do things. If you see that and you don't see the file, it's probably on your computer somewhere. Check in your downloads directory or wherever. Also, I've noticed that doesn't seem to happen when you go to Mozilla, or if you go to Internet Explorer and do it instead of Chrome. Chrome seems to be a little bit crazy with that installer package. Keith asked, is it better to install Air first? And the answer is no, because that package, or what that is it's the Air package installer. So it installs Air with the platform, or with the download. So this is this system is running on Adobe Air, and you need Adobe Air to run it. But what we did is we went with the installer package, so that way it will actually install Air as it's installing the software, so that way you won't have that problem. Okay? Awesome. So that's all I got to say today about Hot Lead Finder. There is one more thing that I want to talk about before we get started, and that is Virtual Lead Assistant. We have a little mini internal thing that we're doing right now where we have decided to leverage our team. I've got a team of girls that are working for me right now. Actually, I take that back. We just brought on one guy. But we have a team of virtual assistants that are working for us that do nothing but use Hot Lead Finder. Okay, all they do all day long is search Hot Lead Finder, and they're searching in Yellow Pages. And what they do is they just grab a list of businesses for different keywords. Okay, what we've done is we have said, okay, yeah, it's cool for you to have a Hot Lead Finder and you have the ability to pull a list whenever you want, but some people spend all day searching for leads and they don't actually get any time to do anything with those leads. So how awesome would it be to leverage our team and the searches that we're doing and kind of spread it out and allow other people to get access to it? So we created a membership. It's called VLA, Virtual Lead Assistant. And what we're doing is you get a form that you can submit where you could say, okay, I want these 50 cities and this particular category. Okay, so let's say, for example, you're allowed to get 50 lists every single day. And as you can see, this right here, for let's say, for example, florist, this would be considered a list, right? There's anywhere from 80 to 100 leads here. So 50 of these a day could could be anywhere from 1,500 to 5,000, and I don't even know. I mean, it could be more than that. Who knows? Depending on the actual search. Okay, but you get all of those leads that that we're pulling for you on your behalf sent over to you. So imagine if you were to sit at your computer all day and just do nothing but search through all of the cities that you want with Hot Lead Finder. How much time would that take you? It would take you a long time, right? Well, with a virtual lead assistant, we're doing all of that searching for you. So all you have to do is fill out the form which says, I want these cities and I want these categories, and then in 24 hours we deliver them to you, to your email. And then you can, just do whatever you want with them. You can put them in the Power Dialer, you can put them in the email system, whatever, okay? Now, just to answer a few questions that some people have had, the leads actually come with, when we do a Yellow Pages search, I'll just show you here. And this one here is actually, this one here is actually a, clear all. This one here is actually a Google search. So let me just show you on a Yellow Pages search. We take and we set the filter at email. So basically what that means is that every lead that we send you is going to have an email, it's going to have the business name, it's going to have the address, the phone number, and the website. Okay? So we're not sending you the lead unless it has that. We could send you a lot more if it just had phone numbers, but most people we talk to, they want to have the business email and they want to have the website address, and that's what we want too in our business. So we just figured, you know what, we'll just go ahead and send you as many businesses as we can that have email addresses, so then you can actually go in and use them inside a Hot Prospector, okay? So that is it. Now, it isn't anything else besides that. All we're doing is sending out leads. We're not your virtual assistant. We're not going to, do emailing for you. We're not going to make phone calls for you. We're not going to do any of those things. For $99, you're going to get the ability to request 50 lists every single day. 50 lists every single day. Okay, so you can send in a form every day, or you can send in a form once a week, or you can send in a form once a month. It's up to you on how you want to pull all those lists. We have one person yesterday that submitted 5 requests to us for 50 different for their 50 lists. So they ended up ordering 250 lists yesterday, which covers them for their whole week. So they don't have to sit there for the rest of the week or make an order every week. So it's up to you. It's up to you, and it's $99 a month. It's a steal of a deal because, like I said, we pay our virtual assistants about $600 a month to work for us. So you're going to get them at a fraction of the cost. I really can't sell it any more than that because, it is what it is. It's just a lead gen service. We're using Hot Lead Finder for you. Could you do this yourself? Absolutely. Should you? Not if you're doing a lot of it. It doesn't make any sense. If $99 versus sitting at your computer my girls sit at the computer for 10 hours a day to get 50 lists. You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make a lot of sense for you to do it yourself if you have the ability to let us do it for you. So anyways, that's that. All right, guys, so let's go ahead. We're going to dig in on Hot Prospector. And are we recording it? Yes, we're recording it. I'm going to do everything I can to get that recording out. So for those of you that are asking if you came in a little bit late, yes, we are. Okay, so you haven't missed anything if you just came in. We haven't even really got started on Hot Prospector, but we're getting ready to right now. Really quick, I just want to take a poll. If you do not have Hot Prospector, please just say, I don't have Hot Prospector. Put it in the chat box that you don't have Hot Prospector right now. I just want to get a gauge of who we're talking to. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so there's a lot of people that do not have Hot Prospector. And guess what? I'm glad that you came here today because I want to show you why you need Hot Prospector. Okay? Let me just start off with this. Okay? Hot Prospector is not some sort of a magic bullet tool or software, right? Like a shiny object, like everybody is always saying, avoid shiny objects. I'll be the first to tell you, do not go out and purchase shiny objects, okay? Because they're not going to do you any good. Why Hot Prospector? Why do you need Hot Prospector? Well, here's a good reason why, okay? Let me ask you this question, and this is actually how I sell Hot Prospector to clients, okay? Aside from, you, my subscribers. Okay, I sell Hot Prospector to my clients, and some of you probably saw the video that I put on YouTube yesterday where I went and did a one-call close and sold Hot Prospector for $300 up front and then $99 a month to an individual merchant service provider, and it was ecstatic. Okay, but here's the question. The question is this: how many people do you talk to every day about your business? How many people do you get business cards from every day or every week or every month? How many people call you every day, every business about your business every day, every month? How many people do you email? How many of those people are you specifically corresponding with? And for most people, if you just sit back and you think about how many missed opportunities did I have because I personally didn't follow up with that person, or I lost their contact information, or I didn't have a system in place. If you think about it, you've dropped literally not hundreds, but thousands of opportunities. I mean, seriously, if you're doing anything in your business any day, every day, then you need to have a system in place that's going to allow you to keep those contacts and keep in touch with them over long periods of time. The biggest thing in your business, the most valuable thing in your business is what? Go ahead and answer that for me. Someone just go ahead and throw it in the chat box. What is the biggest, most important thing in your business? I've got time, I've got money, I've got customers, I've got lists, relationship with lists, sales, leads, customers. Okay. The answer is data. Your data is worth a fortune. And people don't even realize it. Look, if you've got and you know, data, you have somebody's business owner or business name, you have the gatekeeper who you talk to, you know how many kids she has, you know how much money that business spends on advertising, all of those things. You get all of that information when you're talking to a prospect. Now, whether you land that client or not, that data is still valuable 2 months down the road, 3 months down the road. And a lot of people don't have good follow-ups in place. So that's the reason why Hot Prospector was built. Yeah, it's got a lot of cool, awesome tools in it that'll help you to go out and do some prospecting and find new clients, but the system itself, I mean, look at what you're looking at here. I got 27,000 contacts in here, 66 groups, 19 power dialer campaigns, 2 voice broadcast campaigns, 13 SMS campaigns, and 14 inbound campaigns. If I were to try to manage all that stuff manually, it would be a nightmare. But I have all of that right here inside of the system, along with the fact that I can manage my inbound calls, recordings, reports, all of the things that I need in my system, in my business, to have an organized system. Okay, so that's the reason why you need Hot Prospector. Not gonna try to oversell it. Just like with Hot Lead Finder and the Virtual Lead Assistant program, Hot Prospector is a necessity. If you're serious about your business, you need a system like this. And I personally developed this for people like us that do what we do. It's general enough that it can be used for any type of business, but it's specifically developed for people like us. Okay. AG asks, can I have the video? Can I get a link for the YouTube video for the merchant you closed yesterday? You know what? Yes. Go and befriend me on Facebook. Everybody here, you should be my friend. Not because I don't have enough friends, but because I put out stuff on Facebook all the time. So let me just go ahead and drop the link up Facebook. If you don't know how to find me on Facebook, here I am. Please, everybody, go become my friend on Facebook, and you'll see not just that video, but tons of other little videos that I drop out. Okay. How come I don't have a Facebook group to learn how to use my products? Bob, I do have Facebook groups, and I thought you were in them. If you're not, go look around. I've got Hot Prospector, or not Hot Prospector, but Prospecting Profit Pilot. I've got, and that's actually a product itself. I've got the Mark Helton's Prospectors, lots of different stuff. So, all right, here we go. So let's go ahead and dig in. First question that we have here. Go ahead and if you have a question, please throw it in there so we can actually dig in and help each other out. Let's see here. Mike asks a question. Had trouble setting up the email, do you have a service where we'll do it for you? Okay. So let me go into email. That's actually one of the biggies that a lot of people, when they first get their system, there's a lot of misconceptions about email itself. Okay, and I guess personally, I just assume that all of us know everything about SMTP and all the little different nuances of how to set up email on your computer and all that stuff. Some people do, some people don't. If you don't have your own host, okay, a host is a place where you host your websites, right? So if everybody here has their own website, then you have a host, whether it's GoDaddy or HostGator or whatever, okay? When I talk about setting up an email, and you'll see here I'm using Gmail, but I'll switch back and forth between my Gmail account and my own host. And the reason why I even use my own Gmail account sometimes is because a lot of people know me as that particular email, okay? But for you, if you're going out and you're prospecting to businesses, you should be using your own domain, not a Gmail domain, okay? Number one, it's just way more professional. But the other reason why is because your deliverability is going to be much, much better. So how do you get out and actually create a SMTP account that you can actually use inside of your Hot Prospector? Well, there's a few places that you can go, okay? My favorite is not HostGator, is not GoDaddy, is not any of those, okay? My favorite is actually Google Apps, okay? Now, Google Apps is just like having a Gmail account, so the settings are going to be similar, but the deliverability is really good. It's free, and it provides you with having your own domain, but you're using Gmail. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. So right now you see I'm using my Gmail account. Okay. I've got my server here as smtp.gmail.com. My port is 465. These are the standard ports for Gmail. Okay. I actually have my own business set up here with Google Apps, and getting started with that is easy. You just go here, you fill out this form, you just click on Getting Started, fill out this form, put in your current email address. That could be whatever email it is, your organization name, how many employees you have in your region. Then on the next screen, it's going to ask you for the domain. Okay, and I'll just show you. Mark Helton. Business, we'll just call it M&M. Number of employees. There we go. Okay. So once you filled this out, go ahead and hit next. So now it's asking you your domain. Now you have the option here. You can either buy a domain with Google, or if you already have your own domain, you just say, I want to use the domain I already have. You'll put in your domain. So let's just say it is, let me think of a domain that's not in here. Okay, choose your name. Now here you have the ability to create your account. So you create whatever email you want to use as your username, which I always like to do, something like that, or admin or whatever. Create your username and password, put in your text, and then accept and sign up. Now once we accept and sign up, I'm not going to continue on with this because I don't want an account for this. It's going to give you a verification process, and Google steps you through it. But you want to verify your Google account by putting, they're going to give you a little snippet of code that you need to put on your host and change your MX records, and it's really simple. I mean, the first time I did it, it took me a long time. I'm not going to lie, because this was 3 years ago, and I knew nothing about, about email or any of those things. I started off just like you. I didn't know anything about email, so it took me about an hour or something to figure it out, and probably now it takes me like 5 minutes to do it. Okay, but once you've set that up, you're going to have credentials just like you do for Gmail. So the server is going to be smtp.gmail.com. Your port's going to be this, and then I'll just show you. I'm going to put in my Okay, go ahead and click test server, and that's it. Okay, once the test goes through, hopefully it's going to go through okay because, yep, good. There, I had my password right. But see, I'm sending from my own domain, and it's still on a Gmail server, and that's because I'm using Gmail apps. I like recommending Gmail, number one, because it's free. You know, even with this Google Apps for Businesses, it's free. But number two, because the email seems to be better deliver, the deliverability is better, and they don't have all of the same crazy caps like say Bluehost or somebody else like that might have. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but they're much better than having a personal account. So that would be my first recommendation. Then my second recommendation would be someone like Server SMTP, I think it is. Server SMTP. This is Turbo Send, or what is it? Here they are. Turbo SMTP. Okay, Turbo SMTP. That's my second recommendation. They're very easy to get approved through. You just have to have a website with an opt-in form on your site. So when you sign up, just make sure you have a sign-up form on whatever website. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could just be a website with a newsletter opt-in with just, hey, enter your email here. All right, and then you can apply for this. Now they give you a free account where you can send out, I believe it's 200 emails a day, 200 for Turbo SMTP, 250 emails a day for free with Turbo SMTP, and that's plenty of emails if you're doing the prospecting that I recommend inside a Hot Prospector. The next up would be Amazon SES, and Amazon SES Amazon SES is another SMTP provider where you can literally sign up for an account and then you verify your account. They'll give you up to 10,000 emails per day, and then over the 10,000, their pricing is really low. Let's see here. It's not. Oh, here it is. 10 cents per 1,000 emails that you send over that 10,000 that they give you. So it's very, very cost effective. It's a little more advanced. It's not too much more advanced. It's a little more advanced, meaning you got to set up an Amazon Web Services account and all that stuff. And I'm going to tell you the same thing. You know, if you're struggling and you're banging your head against the wall with this, I'm with you. When I first signed up for Amazon Web Services, I knew a little bit about what I do now. I wasn't like high level, techie guy, and it was a little bit complicated for me. But once I got in and started using it, it was really easy. Okay, so those are my recommendations for Gmail. Once you set up your Gmail or your email, you're done, right? The second thing that you have to do, or the other thing that you have to do, is put in your Twilio details. Once you do that, you have your Twilio details and your SMTP details in Hot Prospector. The setup is really finished. That's it. Okay, so hopefully you guys like that. Do we have any follow-up questions on the email? Any follow-up questions? No? Okay, yeah. Like I said, I mean, I switch back and forth between Gmail and my Gmail account and my domain, my own domain. But the only reason why I switch back and forth is because I do send emails out to my customers sometimes through my Gmail account, and when I'm doing that, I switch it up. Omar asked, if I'm on Liquid Web, can I use them or should I use Google? I don't suggest using your own server to send out your emails. I always suggest that you use an SMTP service if you can. And Gmail isn't on your server. If you sign up for Google Apps for Businesses, you're not sending out from your server. You're sending out from Google's SMTP. So you're not sending out from your IP address. It's just a suggestion. You don't have to do that. You can use Liquid Web or you can use your own host. Just the only thing is if you're on shared hosting, definitely don't, because Bluehost, yes, it's being recorded. Bluehost, HostGator, all of those guys have their caps on what you're allowed to send per hour, and they have all these other restrictions. So that causes problems when you're trying to send out a lot, not a lot of emails, but even any emails. So just consider who you want to send from before you actually send. Okay. So hopefully that answers any questions on the email. All right. Any other question? Let's go ahead and I'm going to look and see what else we have in here. But go ahead, please drop a question in there. I want to definitely help you out. Okay. Let's Okay, there's some questions coming in here. Can you explain? Okay, Diane, the parsing feature on Hot Lead Finder is really hasn't had nothing to do with Hot Prospector. I mean, all you do is click the parse feature, and it goes to their website and it grabs their email and it grabs the additional phone number. Right? So like right now, I just did a search on Yellow Pages. If I click on parse, watch, there it is. See, it's going and getting, and you can see. Here's exactly why I did this on their Yellow Pages, the email is enchantedflorist2006@yahoo.com, but on their website, they're using efbridal@yahoo.com. So there's a lot of additional data that you're getting when we added this parse feature. So hopefully that helps there. If I wanted to use my cPanel, what would my SMTP settings be? If you want to use your cPanel, your host, you're going to have to contact them for your SMTP details. Every host is different, right? So you can actually go in to find those details by logging into your actual cPanel and then clicking on Mail and going into Webmail and then looking at your settings. If you can't find that, just pick up the phone and call your host. They'll help you. I mean, when I first got started, I used HostGator, and one thing I liked about HostGator back then was that they would answer questions I couldn't believe they even answered for me. They would sit on the phone and literally train me almost. So if you're really at that level and you don't understand any of this stuff, just call your host. Most of them, they want to help you because they want you to stay as a customer, okay? All right, so would there ever be a reason for me to take my contacts and move them to Aweber? Harris, that's a good question. No. The reason why is because, well, in the future we plan on adding more autoresponder type systems to this, or not autoresponders, but sequences to our emails. Right now we allow email templates, but we're going to be in the future adding sequencing, which will allow you to say, okay, this email goes out on this day, this email goes on that day, so on and so forth, which is kind of what they do over at Aweber. We do have those plans to add into the system. Okay, so once that's implemented, then absolutely no reason to have Aweber at all. Even at this time, most people don't even use those types of things in their business. So for the majority of you, you don't need Aweber or any other emailing service, period. Hot Prospector replaces that. All you need is your own host, and just put it here into your Hot Prospector account, and then you can send out your emails. So speaking of that, let's talk about how to send out an email broadcast. Now, yesterday I did a video and it's actually on my Facebook channel, or not channel, but Facebook feed, where I actually went and grabbed a list and loaded it up into the system using Hot Lead Finder or something, and then I actually just sent out an email broadcast. It was 60 people that I sent that email broadcast to, and out of those 60 people, now I'm not gonna, I'd like to say that I had, I sat at my computer all day yesterday and just kept on taking calls after that, but I didn't. I just recorded that one call. I did get more calls, and I didn't actually call those people back, and I know that if I would have, then I would have closed a couple more deals yesterday, but I got really busy. But anyways, how did I do it? Well, I just first I started off, created a campaign here inside the Power Dialer, okay? So how do you create a campaign? Go in, click Add Campaign, and you want to actually name the campaign. So we'll name it, we'll just call this Test Email Blast and Phone Campaign, whatever, okay? So we create that. Next, you want to select your group, okay? Now this is assuming that you already have loaded the group. We're going to go ahead and grab a list that I've already added in here. Let's do used car dealers, okay? The script, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you don't have any scripts showing up here, that just means that you haven't put any phone scripts. What the script is it's a phone script. It's what would be the the campaign that you want to assign that is preloaded whenever somebody clicks on the scripts tab inside of the Power Dialer. So if you're making phone calls inside of the Power Dialer, that's what that's used for. Okay, so for this case, I'm not even going to use it. The calendar feature is if you want to set appointments through your Power Dialer that automatically get assigned to your Google Calendar. They're already synced. So if you have calendars, and you can see I've got 2 different calendars here, you can select that calendar, and then when you're inside the Power Dialer, you click on Book Appointment, and then a form will pop up, and you can actually book that appointment, and it will automatically be synced up to your Google Calendar. I'm not going to use that either. Voice broadcast. Voice broadcast allows you to send out an individual automated phone message to an individual contact while you're in the system. This is good if you have like people working for you that maybe you want to keep on a specific script. They can call and ask for permission to play a message, and then if somebody agrees, they push the button, and it'll play whatever voice broadcast message that you have here loaded into the system is. And then after the message is played, then it gives them the option to press a button on their phone to be connected to another phone number. So you could actually use that for lead gen. The next one is the email template. The email template is what specific email template that you want to use when you're doing the voice broadcast. So we're going to go ahead and use first email website grade no contact. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and use that one, okay? What does that email say? Basically, that email just says, hey, I was on your website, noticed a bunch of things that you can fix. I took some time to put together a website grade report. Here's a link to that website grade report. And our system will automatically generate this website grade report for them. Next, select your Twilio number. Once you've integrated your Twilio account, all of the numbers that you have in your system will be available here. So you could select whatever number you want to show up on people's caller ID whenever you're making a phone call. Now, the cool thing about this is that you can come in and change it whenever you want. So if let's say you're calling somebody from this phone number now, then a few hours later you can come and call them from a different number. So they'll never know, they can't pre-screen your calls. I love that feature because, it keeps people from screening my calls. They never know when I'm calling. Custom fields. Here you can add custom field data points that you want to be able to gather inside of your Power Dialer system. So if you want to get, really a lot of extra details from your customers, like their birthday or how many employees they have, what's their revenue, how much do they spend in advertising, all of that. You can add as many custom fields as you want. You just say, okay, I want to get 5 more custom fields, click Add Fields, and then those fields will show up, and then you can name them, and that will actually show up inside your Power Dialer system. Okay? You can also do this when you're adding a group inside the contacts. So we give you the ability to do it in 2 places, but if you decided later on that group that you want to add more data points, you can do that. Enable call recording. That's self-explanatory, but basically if you have it selected at yes, then every outbound call from that campaign is going to be recorded. Next is SMS and email reminders. These are for when you actually schedule a callback reminder. So if I select SMS reminder and I'm in the Power Dialer and I say, I want to call this person back at a specific time, this will send a reminder. This allows you to set up a template for what the reminder is going to say, and also allow you to put in your phone number that you want those reminders to go to. Okay, so here we go. I put my cell phone number in here, and if you notice, I put the country code first. You always have to use the country code in this system, and I also suggest not using any dashes or spaces or any special characters. Okay, but if I put in my phone number here, so here's my cell phone number, I can actually put in a template. Just a reminder that we have an appointment at, and then I just leave it like that. And then what happens is when I'm inside the system and I click schedule callback, I can edit this template, and I might just say, okay, we have an appointment at 9 a.m. So I just fill that in when I'm inside the system, rather than having to type this extra line. And the cool thing about this is, oh, and you can also use their, if you have their first name, you can put in that token down here. So we'll just go ahead and say first name, comma, just a reminder that we have an appointment at. So then make sure you have your code in there, right? There you go. First name, just a reminder we have an appointment at blank. So then what would happen is, John, just a reminder we have an appointment at 9, and you can actually set that inside the system. When you're actually in the Power Dialer, you can say, I want this reminder to be sent, at 90 minutes, 60 minutes, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. There's a bunch of different times before that appointment. So that way they don't miss your appointment. So that's what this is for. You can also do an email. You can send yourself an email, and that's what this is for. So here's the reminders to send email reminders, send to email. So that would be your email, because the customer's email is going to be sent from within the Power Dialer. This is just for your own personal reminders. So you put in your email address here, and then you'll be able to put in the subject line for the template. And again, all this can be edited from each individual contact, but this is just so you don't have to type it while you're doing your prospecting. It'll all be automated. So we'll just say, appointment reminder, and then again, you could just take this and copy. There you go. So that's what this is for. It's just for appointment reminders. Now, the last thing that you would actually fill out here inside of the campaign is who, if you have a team, who you want to have available or who you want to have access to this campaign. If you don't check Monica's name, for example, Monica won't be able to see this. She won't see it when she logs into her account. If you don't check Yari's not going to be able to see it when he logs into his account. So if you only want this available for you, you can literally leave everybody else unchecked, and it's only going to be available in your own admin account. Okay? So I'm just going to go ahead, and we've got all this filled out. I'm just going to click Add Campaign. Now, just so you know, you don't have to fill out all this stuff. Really, if you just want to send out an email broadcast using the Power Dialer, you could just fill out the campaign name, select your phone number, and hit Add Campaign. It's just all those other options are there in case you need them. Okay? So a lot of people tell me like, oh, I want my campaign set up the way that you have yours set up. Well, you don't. You want to set up your campaigns the way that you want to use them for yourself. Okay? So here we go. The campaign's been added. Okay? I'm just going to go ahead and go to that page. And let's see. Okay? So here it is. Down here at the bottom, you can see here's my group. It's the 548 used car dealerships. There's 548 contacts. So let's just talk about this here. You've got these different fields up here at the top, or these headers up here. It tells you what each one of these things is. So this here is how you initiate the email broadcast. Now, the reason why this says select template and this says send is because I already selected the template while I was filling out the account or campaign. If you have one that says select template, you can actually click on that and it'll allow you. So watch, it'll open up this other box where you can actually select the template that you want to send and click update. Okay. The way we have this set up is after this email has been sent, it will say select template again. So then you can select a different email template. The reason why we put this in here is so that way you can actually do the 1-2 punch type of campaign, which I like to do a lot, which is broadcast an email, then call them. And that really works well. When you send out an email and then you're calling them back and saying, hey, I just sent you an email, did you get it? They're going to be like, oh, you sent an email? It must be important. They already have my email address, so let me listen to this person. It's not a cold call anymore, okay? All right, so I've set up my email campaign. So here's how easy this is. Once you've selected your template, click send. And here you can see I'm sending out a website grade report and a campaign. I don't know what these contacts are, so I didn't check them ahead of time to see if there's actual email addresses and websites in them. This was actually set up by my system. Okay, so yeah, there are emails and in here. So look, what you're watching right now is I'm actually sending out an email broadcast. So there you can see there's the email that was sent. There's the you see the check mark seeing that it was sent, and everything is good to go. Okay. That is pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and hit go back because I just noticed something that I forgot to do. Okay, I'm going to click edit because I forgot to check the box here for website grade report. So it's not trying to send out the website grade report. So I just updated that, and I'm going to start this campaign over again. See, even somebody that uses the system every single day is going to have mistakes. And you know what? Don't worry about mistakes. Mistakes happen. If you get somebody that complains that you sent them an email and then you send them another one, oh well. You know what? They have the ability to opt out. Let them do it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit send again. And we'll go ahead and click send email. And there you go. So it's going to start sending the email. So now you can see the website report is being generated as well. So we got an email being sent with the website report. And this is all done automatically. I could just sit here and watch this if I really want to, which doesn't make any sense for me to do. Or what I can do is while this is being sent, I can go back over here to my campaign, hit the start button. Watch this. This is multitasking at its finest, right? My system is emailing these people this website grade report. Now I've opened up my power dialer, and this is what it looks like on the inside. And if I click this button right here, see where it says call start? Just hit call start. And I don't know if you can hear that, but it's dialing right now. I don't know. Let's see if this person answers. I should play my epic music in the background.
Out of recycling.
Yeah, hi. Is Victoria there?
Actually, she's not here today. Could I help you with anything?
Yeah, sure. Who am I speaking with?
My name's Sue.
Sue, hi. Sue, I had just sent over an email to Victoria just a couple of minutes ago, and I was just wanting to make sure that that email made it through. Mm-hmm. Let me verify that I have the right email. I have victoria.fla@gmail.com. Is that right?
I'm actually not sure what her email is. I'm sorry. Are you looking to get a quote for a car?
Actually, no. We had put together a video on their website for Dan's Auto Recycling, and I wanted to make sure that they had got the video, so I sent over the email, and we also took a couple minutes and did a little report on the video, or not on the video, but on the website. Is Victoria the person?
Let me get your name.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the one. Let me get your name and number.
Sure.
And I can text it to her.
Perfect.
Okay, what's your name and number?
It's Mark, M-A-R-K, Helton, H-E-L-T-O-N. That's H-E-L-T-O-N. My email address is Mark, M-A-R-K, E like Edward, Helton, H-E-L-T-O-N, @gmail.com. And then my phone number is 702-328 6255.
Okay.
And like I said, I sent over the email, so I just wanted to make sure that she had gotten it. Let's see here. It was about 2 or 3 minutes ago.
Okay. All right. I'm going to text her.
And then I can also send over the video again as well. A matter of fact, I'll do that. But if you could have her give me a call as soon as you get this, because it's definitely time sensitive.
Okay. All right. I'll let her know that. Okay.
Beautiful. And what's your name? I'm sorry.
My name's Sue.
Sue. Sorry. I'm going to put that here in my notes so I don't ask you that again. Sue, it was very great talking to you today, and I hope you have a great day.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Awesome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See how easy that was, everyone? I mean, everybody makes cold calling so difficult, but guess what? I got the gatekeeper's name. I found out that Victoria is the person who makes the decision or handles that, right? A bunch of different questions that a lot of people are afraid to ask. I kind of just use the email to, and that's something I'll do. I'll go out on a limb and look at the email, and if it looks like there's a name in the email, then I'll ask for that person, because whoever that person is the person who set up that account. And, it gets me places. And then what happens is I'll get on the phone with Victoria, and I may actually find out next time that Victoria isn't actually the decision maker, but she'll tell me who is. And, she'll even sometimes they'll even give you like a foot in the door to whoever it is actually makes the decision. So hopefully that helps you guys out. So here I am inside the Power Dialer. Like I said, I'm making emails happen, right? Look at all these emails that's been sent, and then I'm following up behind them. So I only need to make about 40 to 50 of these types of calls every single day, maybe 100 max, and I guarantee you that I will have at least 5 to 10 really good prospects every single day that are interested in my services. Okay? So did that anybody here learn something there? Lots of people are saying yes. That's awesome. That is awesome. Philip says, "Guess I cannot do this to consumers. I have to limit the email and phone broadcast to businesses because of the CAN-SPAM Act." Philip, I don't know what who you actually work with. You can email anybody. There's no law that says you can only email businesses. You can if you can get the email for a personal for a customer, for a residence or whatever, and their phone number. Well, this would work just the same. I just don't know where you would get that data, or you could buy that data. It just costs you a little bit more money. But yeah, this is awesome stuff, right? This is so easy to do. Now, again, look at all of this stuff that you have. Now, can you see what I meant by you need this type of a system? I mean, because look, I already got Victoria's information. I know, her email. I found out who the gatekeeper is. So if I ever want to come back in here and say, oh, that's right, Sue is the gatekeeper, right? Oh, I sent them an email already. So I know, right? I know everything about this business. If I get additional information, I can add that as well. Okay? I can send out the website grader report again if I want. I could do so many different things right here from in the system. I can see where they're located. Here's a Google Maps. I can just, I want to see what's around them. Maybe I'm on the phone with Sue and I'm like, yeah, obviously in this case, there ain't nothing around him. But, if I wanted to do that, I could. I could look at the weather, that's around them. I can, look. Oh, it looks like you guys are getting some pretty warm weather there today, huh? Whatever. I mean, there's all this cool stuff that you have right here at your fingertips. You've got your email. Your scripts. You can load up a script while you're on the phone, and use that to pitch them. You've got your, here's your script. You've got your email. So if you have an email template in here that you want to, click and send, you can do that. You've got your SMS. You've got statuses that you can use. Here you can assign a status. So in this case, Victoria, I'm going to just call her back if she doesn't call me back. So what I would do is I would just put on here maybe, you can click callback, schedule a callback, and just schedule a callback for yourself. So I want to follow up with her today, and I'll just go ahead and schedule. Right now it's 12 o'clock here. Maybe I'll call her back at, 15, that's 3 o'clock, right? And then I can set self-reminders for myself. I really don't, if it's not a real callback, I'm not going to set reminders for myself. But if it was a callback, a scheduled callback, I would just select self-SMS alert. If I have their mobile number, which I do actually have their mobile number here, then I would say contact SMS alert as well. And then remember I was telling you how you can edit the template. Here's that template I created. So it would say Victoria, just a reminder, we have an appointment at, and then I would just say 3 p.m. See? That's why it's so awesome to have this, because I just saved myself a bunch of time. Now when I click save, oh, and also here's how you can select how far out you want to send the reminder. Right? Remind before 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45, all the way up to 120. Select that reminder, click save, and then what will happen is it'll schedule this, and then it'll also send out that SMS alert to Victoria and myself 15 minutes before the call. Cool? Awesome. I think that probably cleared up a lot of stuff for some of you that were trying to figure out exactly how this whole thing kind of combines together. So you've got the email broadcast that was just sent, and then a follow-up phone call. So I just made one call. In order to go to the next call, once I actually hit callback, it'll automatically dial the next number. So let's just go ahead and say I'll click no answer here, and you'll see. Watch. You probably didn't see that. And by the way, when you're not on a GoToWebinar, things will be a lot faster. Right now it's kind of dragging a little bit. Because we're on this webinar and I'm taking up a lot of bandwidth by doing so. But what it'll do is it'll click and it'll go to the next call. Usually it takes about a second to go between calls. But it's dialing right now to the next lead. And again, this is a warm lead. This is not a cold call because I just sent this company a website.
101 Auto.
Yes, hello, how are you?
Good.
Hey, I just sent you over an email to 101autosales@sbcglobal.net.
Okay.
Did you get that? I'm sorry, who am I speaking with?
Ted.
Ted, it's Mark.
Let me get on the internet here.
Okay. Well, it looks like you guys are getting some beautiful weather out there today.
It's like this every day.
Really? 77?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty much all year round.
Oh, really?
Yes, I got the condition report.
Awesome. Yeah, I sent you over, basically what it is it's a report about your actual, well, actually, what was your website address?
101 Auto Sales at sbcglobal.net.
No, I'm sorry, 101, what is 101's website, not the email?
101autosales.net is our website.
Okay. Now, Ted, quick question: who is actually in charge of that website? Because that actually just forwards over to Auto Trader.
Yeah, that's pretty much the website. We're not that computer literate.
Okay. Ted, let me ask you a quick question. How many vehicles do you have in inventory there?
Usually around 18 to 20. We're real small, one-person used car lot.
Okay. So is this the only location that you have?
Yep.
Do you do any?
Yeah, I'm actually his banker. I worked for Wells Fargo 27 years.
Okay.
And I help him out every now and then. Britton's the owner.
Britton? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is it
we do about 90% buy-here, pay-here.
awesome?
That keeps us, alive.
Is it Britton?
Right, like Great Britain.
Okay.
Call, C-A-L-L.
Oh, Britain is.
Like Great Britain.
Okay. I think it's BRI.
That's the first name,
Okay.
Britain.
Okay. Quick question: is Britain around? Because what I actually wanted to call him about, we have this this system where we can actually take all of those cars. And I know you guys are using Auto Trader, but we could take all those cars and literally put them all over the internet. So I hope you get a lot more traffic to those cars and help you sell them.
Well, the best thing to do is the fellow that actually runs this place is my neighbor.
Okay.
But he's in Ohio on vacation.
Okay.
Till next Tuesday.
And his name is?
John A. H-A-Y.
Okay.
And John actually, I guess you would call that the sales manager. Britton's pretty much, he just goes to different auctions, to dealers for trade-ins, and he comes in from 2 to 5.
Okay. And
So he's like a silent owner.
what's John's phone number?
That would be this number here. I don't know his cell phone.
Okay. So what I'll do is, when does he get back from vacation?
He comes back next Tuesday.
Awesome. So what I'll do is I'll give John a call back because I want to show him exactly what it is I'm talking about. I know you guys are using Auto Trader, which is awesome.
Right.
We have a system that's literally, pennies on the dollar compared to what Auto Trader is charging.
That's pricey.
They are very pricey, and we actually do a lot better. I mean, we'll put the vehicle on YouTube, Facebook, Craigslist, you name it, and it'll be a lot less expensive than what you're paying Auto Trader. Much higher ROI. I know that.
Right.
Being a banker, you probably you could probably appreciate that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, just give him a call on Tuesday.
All right, what was your name again, Ted?
Ted.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ted. Hey, have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Can I help you guys?
There you go. So for those of you that are doing the automotive syndication, which is something that I'm actually doing myself, check it out. I mean, I just sat down with a guy, found out some details. Now, tell me, is that a good lead now? I would say yeah. Okay, somebody's asking what video am I sending. You know what? In this case, this data was bad. But do you see how I just like moved to something else? I just kind of pivoted. You can sell whatever you want. You can say I sent an email about whatever. The whole point is just getting somebody on the phone. And if you send them an email about their reputation, or you send them an email about just some free information on how to to market your business better, or you can send whatever you want. You don't have to send a website grade report. You don't have to send anything. Just send something. Or sorry, I didn't mean to say don't send anything. Send something. Send whatever, but send something valuable to their business, and then follow up with them. That's the whole reason why the 1-2 punch method is so powerful. But what I did here is I just pivoted when I clicked on his website, and it took me straight to autotrader.com, and look, these are their cars, right? Well, I mean, I can help them sell those cars. Okay? So anyways, I didn't mean to turn this into like a prospecting extravaganza or anything, but I just wanted you to see how you can use the tool to go out and sell. Now, if you did this all day long, every day, you don't even have to do it all day long. 3 or 4 hours a day, make 40, 50 calls a day, and track your results. You're gonna explode your business, literally explode. Okay. Okay, so I want to go back and I want to ask, if there are some questions here, because I know I just kind of took things in a whole different direction. Do we have any questions about any things that I actually covered? AG says, do I make the calls or does my VA make the calls? Good question. If you can get somebody to actually, and I do have a VA, and actually it's not my virtual assistant. I actually have a person who is here in the U.S. that makes my calls for me. She's actually here in Las Vegas, and she makes the calls for me. So we have a telemarketer, right? And this person is somebody I pay $10 an hour to make calls and set appointments for me. So if you have the ability to have somebody do that for you, then that's obviously going to be way better than you sitting and doing all the calls yourself, because that person's job is to do nothing but that. And then you could just talk to the warm leads that person generates for you. A good telemarketer appointment setter should generate somewhere between 4 to 6 solid appointments every single day, whether it's on the phone or face-to-face. Okay? All right. So questions. Let's see. Is there over-the-shoulder training inside of HP? Yes, there is. Here inside of the training tab, you can click on that. There's all kinds of training on how to use the system and that sort of thing. Does the desktop software in Hot Prospector work outside of the U.S.? Ian, yes. Hot Prospector works anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection. And actually, we use Twilio. So if you're not familiar with who Twilio is like a voice and SMS provider. If you really want to know if they are available in your area, just go to twilio.com/international, and you can see you can call to 208 different countries, text message in 196 countries, and you can get phone numbers for up to 41, or they're in 41 countries now. So if you're curious if your country is one of those 41 countries, you just go here to twilio.com/international and just do a quick search. That's it. Okay. You can actually go up here. I think it's under pricing, and you can select your country. So let's just say, Ian, what country are you in? UK? Yeah, it's in the UK for sure. I mean, UK is like a no-brainer. Oh, that's Ukraine. Sorry. Should probably type in United Kingdom. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely in the United Kingdom. So if I click on United Kingdom, there you go. So you can get a local number there for just $1 per month. Australia, it's in Australia. It's in New Zealand. It's in Ireland. It's in all the main English-speaking countries and even some of the non-English-speaking countries. Does this SMS feature use double opt-in? Absolutely. We're 100% compliant with that. So if you go in here to the SMS and you're creating a campaign, then you'll see that it does actually ask for what you want the double opt-in to be. So watch. I'll just click on Add Standard Campaign. Okay, there we go. So I type in my campaign name. Everything here is just simple, like fill out a form. So I type in my campaign name. I select my phone number, select the group that I want my contacts to be added to, select the method that I would like my subscribers to be added to my list. And we have two options. They can either subscribe by texting in, or they can subscribe by calling in. And the call option, we give two options. They can subscribe by caller ID, which means whatever phone number they call in from is going to be added to the list. That isn't always the best option because sometimes somebody will call you from a landline, we'll capture their caller ID, and now they're added to your SMS list when they don't even have an SMS-capable phone. The other option is subscribe by pressing in their phone number. And this is cool. Here, I'll give you an example of why this is awesome. You can actually set this up with an inbound campaign here on your inbound where somebody calls in and you say, let's say you give them an option on your inbound campaign. You have a phone tree, a phone menu that they hear. Hi, thank you for calling ABC Company. For sales, press 1. For support, press 2. To get an instant quote delivered to your cell phone now, press 3. Okay? So they press 3, and then you transfer them over to this number, and then it'll play a message, and the message could say whatever you want. You can either record you can do text to speech, or you can upload an MP3 file that says, "Hi, thank you for your interest in your free quote. To receive your quote now, please enter your 10-digit phone number after the tone." So they enter in their 10-digit phone number. Now they're subscribed to your SMS list, and then they'll start receiving those messages. Okay, so that's really cool, a way to use the call feature. To use the SMS, you just click on here, subscribe by SMS, and this is your standard SMS campaign where you can say, okay, I want the keyword to be free, or let's say the pizza, or soda, or whatever, right? And you could set up SMS campaigns for you or your customer or whatever, where if somebody texts in to that keyword, then they're going to receive, first off, this confirm opt-in message, which will say, thank you, to confirm your subscription, please reply confirm. Right? And then you have to say standard text rates apply. So now you're in compliance. You're in compliance, right? Now you're doing everything the right way for your customer or for yourself. So thank you, to confirm your subscription, please reply confirm. And then you want to make sure you make your confirm message, or your confirm keyword confirm. There you go. And then after they confirm, then they get this message, which is your welcome message. Thank you, whatever you want to say. And then you always have to say, thank you, to be removed, reply, we'll just say stop. And then down here, you got your unsubscribe keyword, which we just said was stop. And then here's your unsubscribe message, so on and so forth. It's really simple. You also have a resubscribe message. They can type in a resubscribe keyword to be resubscribed, and then they'll receive this message that's your SMS, or that's your resubscribe message. It's really simple on the subscribe by SMS. Now we also have inside the SMS the ability for people to gather additional contact information out of their welcome message, or out of the initial message. So the way this works is when somebody subscribes by SMS, whatever information they send you in that first message, we'll say which is your keyword message, the first message, we'll look for an email and their contact name. So let's say that you're on stage, you're a consultant, and you're speaking at an event, and you want to get, there's 100 people in the audience, and you want to get those people to give you their information. You want them to give you their information. You want their email address. You want their name. All right? You can put an offer up on the stage and say, hey, I'm going to send this free report to everybody here. Here's how you get it. Just text your name and your email to 919-928-5844. And then as soon as they do that, that will work as their initial keyword, and we'll take their name and their email and we'll add it to whatever group you've added. So if you have this, let's say it's Arizona Pizza, right? We'll grab their contact name and put it in the name field. We'll grab their email, put it in the email field. We'll grab their phone number that they texted you from and put that in the phone field. So now you've got their name, their email, and their phone number just from one little message. Now I use this on my Facebook campaigns, ad campaigns. Instead of building a website with a bunch of spending a bunch of time building a website, I just use this as my opt-in form. It works really well. We also have contact notifications. So when somebody does this, you can receive a message on your phone or your email that you just got a new contact. And then the rest of everything else works the same. Is there a single opt-in for SMS? No, Azu, it's illegal to have a single opt-in as of October. At least here in the United States, and I'm sure it's probably everywhere in the world now, but you have to do confirm message now in order to add anybody. All right. Do I have training on SMS campaigns for verticals on restaurants? You know what, Jim? I am not an SMS guy that sells SMS so much to my clients. I like individually. I do have training on SMS for, how to go out and find customers. It's, I can. It's SMS Hotbox. I released it a couple of years ago, but I don't even think it's available anymore. But my favorite method for going out and getting a restaurant owner is just to walk in and offer them a free trial. Because it costs you $1 to offer them the free trial. And they can start building a list, and then once they build a list, then you don't have to really sell it anymore. They have their leads, and they have the ability to send it. You can also sell, because again, Hot Prospector is completely white label. You can actually sell Hot Prospector as they can manage it themselves, charge them like $100 a month, and give them access to SMS, and let them go in and manage their own campaigns and create their own campaigns, and just show them how to use it. Okay. The other feature here. Any questions on the standard campaign? Going once, going twice. All right. Ian, the name of the lead finding software is Hot Lead Finder. I dropped the link in here earlier. Here we go. There you go. All right. That's a link to get the free Hot Lead Finder. That's this tool here. For those of you that were late and didn't make it on time, you missed a bunch of stuff. All right. So let me just go through here to the conversation campaign. Now, conversation campaign is a really cool campaign. What this does is allow you, and oh, by the way, we have this setting feature here which allows you to duplicate a campaign that you already created. So you don't have to keep on creating campaigns over and over again. If you have one that you just want to keep on using, you can do that. So let's say you want to load this campaign. So it just automatically puts all the details in there. So here's a conversation campaign. Let's say this is, we'll call this consultant campaign. Okay, so same type of scenario as what I was telling you about before, where you're on stage. Let's say you're a consultant, or you're at a mixer or something, and you want to really show off about how cool you are in your marketing systems, right? You can actually have them text in, say, hey, text me your name. So they text in their name. What will happen is as soon as they text in their name will be added to this AA test group or whatever group you have, okay? Then I have a next question here is what's your email? That email, see I have the contact data field, that email will be added to the email field here inside the AA test. What's your digits? What's your phone number? That is added to the phone field, right? You can add as many of these as you want. So if you're this consultant, you can ask them all kinds of stuff. How's your business? What was your revenue in your business last year? Whatever. You can ask anything that you want, and then have that data automatically added to a contact field. And if you don't see the field that you want here, well, you could just go into your, before you actually go into the SMS campaign, you create as many fields as you want in that group, so you can ask whatever you want, and add that here into your contact. So this is actually like, imagine a virtual lead form for SMS. So you could use it for so many different things. I mean, you could use it for real estate agents. They could use it to build a lead for somebody who's interested in renting or purchasing a property. You can use it for recruiting agents. They can actually use it to create a virtual SMS application for people who possibly could be looking for a job on Craigslist or whatever. You could use it for any type of business that, like I mentioned before in the earlier example, who wants to build leads for their business and get information from their customers without actually talking to them on the phone. I mean, you can create a whole conversation that's automatically going to assign the data into that contact for them, and it's all automatic. There's nothing out there like that. Okay, I keep on going back to this, but remember, Hot Prospector isn't just a system that you can use to prospect for yourself. You can use it to go out and sell. You can sell it. You can go in and build, add team members to your account, and then you can sell those team accounts, individual team member account where they don't have access to anybody else on this inside your system, right? You could sell them the SMS tab for free, or you could sell them, or not for free, but sell them the SMS tab for $99. You could sell them the power dialer for $100. You could sell them the voice broadcaster and all those different features. Completely white label. Okay? Does anybody have any questions on the SMS conversation campaigns? Anybody? Going once, going twice. Okay, Robin, my Hot Prospector under conversation campaign doesn't have Convo 1, 2, 3. I don't understand what you're asking. When you click on Add Conversation Campaign, you're just going to see this, a blank form that you have to fill out. Unless you have something like here, you can see these different settings. Those are ones that I've already created, so that's why those are there. But when you click on Add Conversation Campaign, it's going to give you a form so you can create your own campaign. Okay, good. All these charges for phone calls and SMS will be charged from Twilio. Yes, Harris, the calls are all charged through Twilio, and the calls are really cheap. I mean, the pricing for the United States is $1 per month to rent or own your phone number, and then outbound calls are 2 cents a minute, inbound calls are 1 cent a minute, text messages are 1 cent. Very, 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 very price conscious system. I mean, like on average, like I have telemarketers that work for me all day long, Harris, and they're paying, I'm paying, somewhere around $30, $40, $50 a month, and that's for somebody who is pounding the phone full time. And it's very, and the ROI, the return on investment is ridiculous because, I'm getting great ROI. I don't care if it costs me $500 if I'm making $5,000. I don't care if it costs me $1,000 if I'm making $10,000. Right? ROI is what we all care about. But the ROI on my system is very, very, very good. Yes. Okay. Okay. So that's it on the SMS. Let's go over to next tab. We're going to go into is inbound. A lot of people are asking about the inbound, so let's go ahead and do that. And at the end, I'll show everybody the branding, because the branding is really cool, and we'll talk a little bit about how to make money with the Teams tab. Okay. So here I am inside the inbound. Question here: do we have any specific question on the inbound? Go ahead and light them up if you have some questions on the inbound. So let's start off. I'll go ahead and just start by creating a campaign. So here's how you create a campaign. Now, if you notice, when I click on inbound, I landed on the campaigns list. Okay. Props to Craig Christensen for telling me to straighten up my act with this sub menu here, making sure that everything matches up. If he's not on the call, hey, you're right. I didn't even notice that until he mentioned it. So we kind of try to make everything streamlined so you know what's going on every tab. So here I am on the inbound tab. It lands on the campaigns list. Now, if you don't have any campaigns here, that means you don't have any created yet. So you just have to create one. It's easy, just like the power dialer. All you have to do is name it. So we'll just call this one. We'll call this one Craig's campaign. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to select the contact group. Now, a lot of people ask me, why do I have this option? Well, the main reason is because of a feature that's coming out here soon, which I can show it to you guys. We're just working on a couple of different issues that's keeping me from releasing it. Let me just show you what it is. I always try to make sure that things are bug-free before we release it, but this is a really cool feature. When it comes out, you guys are going to love it, okay? So I'm logged into my dev account here. Do you see how this menu up here, you have these two options? You've got web phone and inbound call. This is the browser phone. This is what's going to replace what we have now, which is a pop-up. So if you're inside your system now and you're just logged in here and somebody calls that inbound call, you can have the call go to your cell phone or you can have the call pop up on the screen. Well, the pop-up's just not that great as it stands. So what we've decided to do is set it up to where you could just click on inbound call and you're just logged in on, you can still have other browsers open, but you could be logged in one browser just to receive inbound calls. So what would happen is if I received a call from that group, so let's go back over to, where's that group at? There it is. Let's say it's Merchant Prospector here. I'm creating this Craig's campaign and the contact group is Merchant Prospector. Well, let's say I received a call from a contact that's in that group. Well, all the information I have about that contact is going to pop up. Their name, their company name, their address, their website, their notes, all that stuff will populate here in this field. So that is the reason why we have that. So everybody understand now, I mean, it's part of an upgrade that's coming, which is going to be so awesome once it's finished. The only reason why we haven't released it yet, and it's really close to being released, is we're fixing the way it works if you have multiple users logged in. It works fine for one person, but if you have 3 or 4 people taking calls, we want to make sure that the call routing is proper. So if somebody's on the phone, it doesn't try to ring them still and that kind of thing. Once those things or kinks are worked out, you should see this, and I'm hoping we'll have it released by the end of this month. Okay, so we've created our campaign, or we've selected our group. Now we select our phone number, and you can have whatever number you want. Just click Add Campaign and Call Flow. And then it's going to open up this field that says Customize your IVR call flow. So it's easy. You can go ahead and select whatever you want to happen. So here we've got it set up to where whenever somebody calls that 412 number, it will dial my cell phone, right? Well, if I don't want it to do that, let's say I want to set it up to where when somebody calls into that number, they get a greeting, I could do that. And then, if I want to have them receive a call menu option, I can do that. So I just drag over the call menu. So here on the call menu, I can either upload an audio file with a greeting message or I can type one, and it'll do text-to-speech. Thank you for calling. For sales, press 1. For support, press 2. To get a free quote, press 3. To leave a message, press 4. Right? So now I've got 4 different options that I just presented them with on this message. I'll click Save. Now, as far as setting up those options, it's easy. See here, you've got the menu options here. So the press 1, the first one here, is for sales. So what do I want to happen? How do I want sales to be invoked? Well, let's say that I just want all of the sales calls to come to my cell phone number. So I could just drag over this dial option, and it'll dial one phone number, and then I could just put in my cell phone number. And then I have the ability after I put in that number to say, okay, how long do I want it to dial that number before it times out? Oh, I want it to dial for 30 seconds. And then after 30 seconds, what do I want it to do next? Here, say, I could just say, hang up. I want it to hang up after 30 seconds, which I don't suggest you do. You should probably use voicemail or something. But, hey, maybe you don't want to talk to them if you don't want to talk to them. All right, so that's done. Now the first menu option is done. So in order to initiate the second menu option, just hit this little plus button here, and it'll open up, and now you've got the key press for 2. So for 2, I told them support. Well, maybe for support, because I'm just a one-man shop, I just want them to leave a voicemail, and then I'll listen to the voicemail and get back to them later. So here's my voicemail. Scroll down here. Here's my voicemail, right? I can either upload an audio or I can do a text-to-speech. Please leave a message. I wouldn't say something like this if it was a support line. Might say, sorry, all of our agents are busy. In order to serve you, please leave a message and we'll contact you back. And then that's that. Okay, and then again, you can say what do you want it to do next after that. You can have it hang up. Okay. Now let's say you get lost. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting lost with all these things here. What do I do? Just click on Show Flow, and then it puts these arrows into place so you can see, where you are with things. All right, so we're on number 2. Now we can do number 3. So number 3, we've got that to get a free quote, press 3. So that is where, you can actually say, you know what, here, just go ahead and drag over this SMS feature here, boop, and then what will happen is if they're on a mobile phone, this SMS message will be sent. Thank you. To initiate our free quote process, I don't know, please text your name to, and then you can give them a phone number for one of your conversation campaigns, right? Or you could just say, you could just say, here, go to our website. You can do whatever you want here. Or you don't even have to do this option. You can just say, I don't want to do SMS. Instead, on option 3, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't want to send them an SMS. I want to dial one of my call-in features on an SMS campaign. So you can do whatever you want with that feature there. Just go ahead and finish this. There we go. Okay? And then the last option we have here, option 4, is leave a message. Pretty self-explanatory. We'll just drop over the voicemail. And then I just made a mistake there. I put in the wrong voicemail. Okay? So there you go. So this is all done. I just did a 4-option menu. It took me a couple of minutes. When you're done, just go ahead and click Close. And now that inbound campaign is set up. So whenever, it's all set up. Hans says it's so much to learn, not complaining. Hans, you know what? There is a lot to learn because it's a system where you can eliminate all these other tools and systems that you would need with just this one tool, right? Like everything that you need for your business with Hot Prospector is in one place. So yeah, it is a lot to learn, and the way I suggest it is tell people to bite off a little bit at a time. If your main problem in your business is that you need to automate some of those things, like the inbound thing, I would do right away because I would want to use my own phone number, and I want to have a call inbound phone number and all that stuff for people to call in. The next thing I would do after the inbound is I would set up my outbound prospecting campaign. So I would do power dialer and emailing and that sort of thing. SMS and all this other stuff, it's all there whenever you need it. It's not something that you say, okay, I got this tool, now I have to use it all. It's not like that. I mean, like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You can't shove that whole thing in your mouth in one bite, right? You would die. You wouldn't even be able to. So same thing with Hot Prospector. It's a tool. I mean, literally, I've put all the things that you need into one business or into one account that you can use for your own business or sell to other people. So now that we've added that, does anybody have any questions about inbound that I did not answer? How specifically are you giving the lead the number to call? Email. Sean, I am not understanding that question. Harris's question about the groups, I think what you're asking is when I was showing this with the inbound call. So when somebody calls in, whatever your number is, their contact data will pop up, and yes, whatever notes that you have in that as well will show up. Can I white label just this inbound functionality? Yes, you can. That inbound functionality is pretty awesome. It's pretty sick. Wait till this comes in. I mean, it's really cool. Let me see if I can actually show you how this works. Because I know I had a test count set up. Yeah, let me just dial this so you can see what I'm talking about. So check this out. So I'm logged into this campaign. Hopefully this will work okay. Does this run on Apple? Yeah, because it's web-based. It will work on any machine. Matter of fact, I don't advertise this, but watch this. Well, let's finish this. Yeah, I don't have that number set up anymore, so I can't show you. But what would have happened if that number was set up, you would see my name and information pop up, and it would just go ahead and show. This is something that I don't really show people a lot, but Hot Prospector is actually responsive. So if you're on a tablet, like an Android tablet, it'll actually see how it changes for your different machines. So if you're on a tablet or a phone, see it resizes. So and it'll work on an Android, it'll work on an Apple. The only thing that doesn't work on your iPad, is you can't make phone calls using your iPad. You can make phone calls using an Android tablet, but you can't dial out from Apple yet. It's going to happen very soon, as soon as we can fix that iOS issue that we're having with iPad. But you can use a Mac to be able to use the system. I don't know. I've never tried Kindle, Jim. Good question. If somebody has a Kindle and you want to try it, go ahead. I don't know. But it does work on Android because I have an Android device, and it does work on iPad if I have an iPad device. The only thing that it doesn't work on the iPad is just the power dialer. Thanks, Jim. Awesome. So let's see here. On the profile page, what is the difference or same about the default Twilio number and inbound phone number? Okay, you know what? That's a good question. But I'm going to have to ask Andy. Andy? Andy is my assistant, so you guys can't hear him. He's sitting here in the office with me. Andy, here's the question, because he knows he's been dealing with the developers more lately. I'm trying to kind of, spend more time doing other things, and that's so I can help you guys out more. So Andy's going to hopefully answer this question. Andy, on the profile page, what is the difference or same about the default Twilio number and the inbound phone number? Oh, wait. Let me just make sure I'm at. Are you talking about? Let me get out of this account here and back to the regular one. Are you talking about here in the profile, Wayne, where it asks you this number down here, the inbound phone number? This number here, and I can answer that. This number here is for your particular settings on the web phone. So when you're receiving an inbound call, we need to know where you want your phone calls forwarded to when you're logged into your account. So you have the option here on the inbound settings to select to either just get the calls on your web browser or to get the calls on your web browser and then another phone number so it'll forward them, or here, right? This default Twilio number, this is just for your settings here inside your account. Make sense? Okay, good. Awesome. Glad I was able to answer that. Sorry. Now, as far as this is concerned, this is something new. Do you know what this is all about, why they give all these options here, and what this is even for? No, those are my numbers. Yeah, those are all my numbers. So I'm not exactly sure what this is all about. I think that they just load those up. I don't know. Find out what this feature is here for, because we really don't know. They just recently changed that. added this drop down here for the account default number. And I don't know what happens when you select a different one, what it matters. But yeah, just so you know, that's new, so even I don't know what that's about. Hi, Mark and Andy. Are all your Hot Prospector webinar trainings available for replay? I would like my new operations manager to view them, if possible, please. Thanks. Yeah, all of my training webinars are always on my YouTube channel. I don't always put them inside a Hot Prospector. Up until recently, all of our web videos, our training videos were available to anybody who had access to Hot Prospector. And for people that were reselling Hot Prospector, they didn't want the training videos available to people, so we didn't put them in there. But recently, under the Pages tab, we have allowed you to turn off the training. Here, see how it says training videos? You could turn off the training videos, and then your customers can't see them. So if you go to my YouTube channel, let me just go ahead and give that to you guys. If you're not subscribed to me on YouTube, you should be, because I always put out videos, and I don't send out, if I send out an email every time I made a video, you guys would get emails from me over and over and over again. I mean, I do a lot of videos on YouTube. And sometimes it's just because I feel like doing one. So there's my YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe to me. And like I said, there's all kinds of training videos in there, just good stuff that will help you in your business. Where was that Pages tab? Wayne, good question. If you go into your team, you see here where you got Pages? These are all the pages. So this tab here, this option here, allows you to select, okay, here's Monica. She's one of my members. Maybe I don't want Monica, who's calling for me, to have the ability to do, anything besides, I just want her to have the ability to use the power dialer. So I can actually uncheck all of the tabs. These are the tabs, right? Voice broadcaster, SMS, mass emailer, appointments, get leads, and training. So now when she logs in, and reports, mass emailer. Now when she logs in, the only thing she'll see is the power dialer. Well, let's say inside the power dialer, I don't want her to have access to script templates, SMS templates. I don't want her to have access to manage phone numbers, and I don't want her to be able to add a campaign or email templates. I could take away everything. So the only thing she could see is just the ability to start a campaign. So that is a option that we added, really custom, what your user can see and what they can't. Now, for those of you that are selling Hot Prospector, this is really powerful because you can use that to build what you're charging your customer for too. So you could say, look, I'm going to give you SMS. Right, so let's click on Pages again here. So I'm going to give her SMS, but I'm not going to give you conversation. And if you want to get, so I'm charging you $99 a month, but if you want conversation, then it's $149 a month. And then you check that box, and now they have access to it. So you can charge them that way. Okay, so that makes it really cool. Now, for those of you that, and like I said, there's so much, you have control over not only Pages, these tabs that they see, but you also have control over what groups they have access to. So for contact groups, you have control over their power dialer campaigns, their inbound campaigns, their voice broadcast campaigns, and also SMS campaigns. So everything is actually set up in here. We also give you the ability to send their details to them if they get lost. You could come in here and just click send account details to this person, or let's say you created an account for a user, rather than calling them up and telling them their details or sending them an email, you just create their details and go back here to your team member list and then just click this button here and it'll send them to them. Okay. Good question. Tim asks, if we're selling Hot Prospector, where is our pricing? Good question. So here is our packages. You can purchase 10 or 5 packages at a time. And for 10, all of these features included, if you could buy them individually, but it doesn't really make sense. We do that on purpose. We want you to have all of the features. If you get all of the features, it's $99 per month. Right? You get a big discount for having all of the features. So $99 a month for 10 users. If you want a 5-member package, then it's $69 a month. Okay? So you can come in here and you can pay and subscribe and add them, and then you'll have all these people added to your team account, and then you can give them individual logins. You could charge whatever you want. I suggest you charge extra for each one of those features. Charge them for, SMS individually, charge them for voice broadcast, all that. If they go try to purchase from Hot Prospector, which they wouldn't know about us anyways because you could completely brand the whole system, but if they were to try to buy this from Hot Prospector, it would cost them $200 per month for a seat for all those features. So, we're not cheap. Go into the power dialer, go into the profile. Here's how somebody asked, how do you brand everything? First, you can go in here to custom themes. You can change out your logo. Trying to find the logo that I have here I want to use. Okay, blue. Let's go with blue. All right, choose your logo. Then you can come in here and just select the color schemes that you want to use. Just going to do it fast. I've actually seen some of these accounts that people have created and their options, and they're beautiful. When I log in, Andy, you know what I'm talking about, right? Some people have some really great design talent. I mean, you couldn't tell it's Hot Prospector. I mean, they've got, because we have the option for you to use like images and all that stuff. Really, seriously, I've seen some really beautiful ones. But anyways, once you're done, just click Update Color and watch. There it is. Everything's changed. All right. I only change simple stuff, which is just the menu bars and the logo. I mean, you can change header background colors. You can add images in the header. There's just so much cool stuff that you can do. Okay. Now, once you've changed the branding. And by the way, you want to change this brand system here as well, because that will actually change what people see up here on the menu. Plus, that changes what they see on your branded website. Okay. But once you've changed the branding, then you want to come over here to custom domain management, and all you want to do is put in the URL for the domain that you own that you want to be your custom domain. Now, here's the way the domain branding works. The custom domain is available to everybody that has a team package for free. Okay, anybody can brand their site. You just can't use a custom domain unless you either have a team package or you pay the $200 per year fee. And the reason why we do that is because it's a manual process that we have to do in order to set up your custom domain. So once you create it, it's not like it's all done automatically. We have somebody actually set it up. Most of the time it's me, because not many people know. I've been training Andy to do it, but nobody else knows how to do it except for me. So basically the way it works is you come in here, you add your domain, and then it's going to send you some information. It's going to tell you, please change your domain name server settings to these name server settings. It'll give you those. And then once you change your name server settings, then you let us know, and then we'll come in and we'll actually switch it over to your own name server. So this is what it would look like. Here's a perfect example. Here's a custom branded site, merchantprospector.com, which I happen to own. See? Got the new logo. Instead of Hot Prospector, it says Merchant Prospector. Everything is completely branded off of Hot Prospector. So nobody would know that this is Hot Prospector. Everything is personally branded. So when somebody logs in under this, they would log in under merchantprospector.com. Okay? So if you are looking to sell something, and oh, by the way, if you're selling anything, whether it's websites or reputation or anything, you don't even need another website. You could just use this. Check it out. We added this tab here that says VIP Marketing Services, and if you notice, it floats and follows you all the way through. So if somebody clicks on that, takes you down here, and it's like, hey, do you have the time to devote to marketing your business, or don't have the time to devote to marketing your business in order to get the results you deserve? Then Merchant Prospector VIP Marketing Services is your answer. People say the experience of working with our team, blah, blah, blah. And it talks about all the features we offer. Look, telemarketing services, custom video email marketing, bulk email marketing, sales systems and designs, website, content, lead pages, you name it, it's all here. So you don't need a website for your business or anything. Once you have Hot Prospector, you're done. Like, you could use this system to sell to people that are looking for a product to purchase. So one of the things I love about Hot Prospector is no matter who you run into, you have something you can sell them. If they need a website, sell them a website. If they don't need a website and they just want somebody to help them with some email or some content, you could do that. If they don't want to do any of that and they're a do-it-yourselfer, well, then sell them a seat inside of your Hot Prospector and call it a day. Pretty cool, right? AG, the question is, so that $200 per year, is that an additional to the $197 a year? AG, that is if you only have to pay the $200 for a custom domain if you don't own a team package. Now, there's only one reason why you would pay the $200 instead of just buying a team package, the basic team package. It's because you have no intent on actually selling team seats, right? So for me, I think it makes a lot more sense to not pay the $200 and just get a team for $69 or $99. You have a team account, and you have actual team members that you can sell. You don't need to pay the $200 then. Now you're all set. We'll set up your custom domain, and you're all good to go. Does that make sense? The reason why we do that, we want to discourage people from just spending their money for no reason on a custom domain. If you have no intent on selling those team seats, then why do you need a custom domain? You don't. You could still use the custom subdomain, right? You subdomain for your custom logins if you want to have a branded site and have people log in through your subdomain versus logging in through hotprospector.com, all that. But again, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to have a custom domain unless you have a team package that you can actually resell. AG, please be specific what you're confused about if you're confused, because I'm trying to be as clear as possible, and I would have no problems doing that. Bob, you're welcome. I'm glad this is the best webinar you've had on Hot Prospector to date. How about optimization and duplicate content of the site? Christos, we don't set up this system to be webs for SEO optimization. Check it out. If you type in merchant prospector on Google, though, whoops. I mean, I just put that up there, and look, it's already on the first page of Google. So it's going to show up, but you're not going to be able to show up and if you're wanting to sign up for this and thinking that you're just going to have a website and everybody's going to find it and they're going to buy it because they found your website, save your money, because that's not going to happen. You're going to have to build other properties and web properties to send people to your website. I mean, most of the selling that I sell the system is through email marketing and voice over the phone and all that stuff. Can we, once we are a user, use content from your website and appropriate it for our website, reappropriate to avoid duplicate content? I don't know exactly what you're asking, Jurgen, but like I said, I mean, the reason why we give you can build your own website for selling the system and then point them to this system, right? That's the way I would do it. If you're trying to do this for SEO, you could do whatever you want. You could use this content and then reformat it or whatever, but don't get hung up on that. I just wouldn't use Merchant Prospector. Let's say if this was your site, I wouldn't think that people are going to find merchantprospector.com because we're all competing against each other then at that point. You would use other ways if you want to use articles or videos and all that. Matter of fact, the majority of the traffic that I get for Hot Prospector, besides the stuff that I'm doing here, comes right from YouTube. YouTube is my biggest source of traffic. And I mean, not because of people typing in Hot Prospector, it's people that are typing in, like, watch, Power Dialer, Look at this. This video right here is mine. I put this up 2 years ago. It says Power Dialer demo for Skype is a free option, but Hot Prospector is much faster. So here's like a free video that I put up teaching people how to use Skype for dialing on their system. But look at this. I'm also showing up here a few other times. Hot Prospector, whatever. So people actually find us on YouTube, and then, when they're searching for Power Dialer. So if you want to do SEO and that sort of thing, what I'm saying is you can actually use other properties and then point them to this particular property. I don't think you have to worry about the duplicate content. Somebody wanted to know where you buy Hot Prospector from. I'm sorry. I thought that everybody, that's my fault. Let me go ahead and throw that in here. Here's the link. Here's the link to get Hot Prospector. There you go. We have two options. If you go to the web page, you'll see here, you can either get it for $39 per month or $297 per year. There's two different options. And you get all of the features. We don't piecemeal it out to you. You get everything. You get all the tabs, everything. So, just think about it. If you go buy I know there's SMS systems out there that charge $300. There's, we have competitors that do power dialing that don't even have all the features we have that charge $150 a month for just that. We're charging just a one-time annual fee of $297 or a $39 monthly fee. Inbound, go and look. You've got Grasshopper, you've got Ring Central, all these other people out there that charge anywhere from $50 to $100 a month, or some of them are a little cheaper, but you don't get as many features for inbound. So, if you add all this stuff together that doesn't do any of the stuff that Hot Prospector does, you're going to be paying out a ton of money if you went somewhere else to get it. Okay, so do we have any other questions? Is this the same as the $99 monthly offer for VA leads? No, the virtual leads assistant is completely separate. That's just a service, and this is a software. Christos, Mark, I have Hot Prospector and Lead Finder Jack as also Video Prospector. Can these work together with? Yeah, sure. I'm not exactly sure what Lead Finder Jack is. I think it's a scraper. And I'm not exactly sure what type of data it gets. If you don't have a lead finder, this one's free. If you don't have to buy one, I think Lead Finder Jack costs money, I'm assuming. But yeah, you can use any lead finder as long as they will export into a CSV. And as you can see, we export with Hot Lead Finder, either export into HP, which is Hot Prospector, or export into CSV. And that gives you the option to use it wherever you want, whether you want to send out through your own email system or whatever. Dr. Jory asked if this is being taped. Actually, you know what? We don't even. We're recording it, but we don't use tape anymore. Joking. That was a joke. Remember back in the day when you had a VCR and you'd say, "Hey, don't forget to tape my favorite show, whatever, Dr. Phil," or no, actually Dr. Phil wasn't even around. What was that? Donahue. Remember anybody here watch Phil Donahue? My dad used to record. He used to tape Phil Donahue. Anyways, but yeah. So if there's any more questions, please go ahead and drop them in, and I'll answer them for you. If not, we're going to go ahead and end the webinar. If you don't have Hot Prospector, gosh, get it. What are you waiting for? Please. Oh, lead forms. Thanks, Diane. There you go. Lead forms. So let's go into lead forms. Lead forms is too cool too, right? I noticed that we lost a lot of people from the original webinar, which I don't blame them because it's been a couple hours. But look, lead forms. It's here under contacts. So you go into contacts, click on lead forms, And now you can actually build your own lead forms. I'm actually just editing one here because I'm not going to build one. But here's how cool this is. Create your name of the lead form. Create your headline that you want to show up on your lead form. Your subline that you want to show subheadline to show up underneath that lead form. The group that you want the leads to go to when somebody fills out your form. Your width and height and the background color and the text that you want on the button, as well as your background or your button color. Right? Then here, these are the fields that you want to show up on your form. So you can put your phone number, your first and last name, your email. Click update, and then bam, this is your form. So if later on you decide, you know what, I want to add another field, okay, no problem. Say you want to find out about what city they're in. Just click that, and away you go. Check it out. Now you got first name, last name, email, phone number, and city. Pretty cool, right? What is lead form? Have no clue what you're even talking about. When and where do you use it? Bob, good question. Have you ever gone to a website and they say, hey, enter your details here to be added to our list? That's a lead form. An opt-in form, you can call it whatever you want. So here, you take that form after you've built it, and I think it's test form. And actually, you got to make sure you have the height right. See how this shows up now with the scroll bar? Because I added city in there. So this is actually, I'm kind of glad that this showed up so everybody can see this. Because I added this extra field, the height needs to be changed. So I can actually come here and just change the height and then grab the new code. The code is right here. So there's my code. But let me just go ahead and do this. I'm just going to take the city back off and click update. And then I'll go back over here and click update, and it should correct itself. There you go. So that's the way that form would look. You just take that code. You just take that code and you put that code on your site, and now someone can fill this form out on your site, first name, last name, email, phone number, add, and voila, this is now inside your email. Diane said, cool, so you don't need Aweber. No, you don't. You don't need Aweber because, yeah, we even have our own forms now. And eventually, just kind of show you where we're headed, we're planning on doing landing pages too. And that's going to be cool. And everybody who's getting this, so Jurgen asked what's the pricing. I'll go over the pricing again. It's $297 or $39 a month. Is it worth it? Anybody here who has Hot Prospector, do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's worth $297? It's a big no-brainer. Everybody's like, yes, 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 hell yes, oh yeah. I mean, because, look, first off, have I ever asked anybody here for an extra penny when I added another cool feature like lead forms? No. It's yours. And let me ask you this. Everybody's saying, yes, wow, amazing. Here's another thing to keep in mind. Besides the fact that I just add features willy-nilly that I know that you guys are going to be able to use and don't charge you, do I keep it updated and improve and fix anything that you have ever found that's ever been broken? If it breaks, because it's software, stuff happens. Yes, always, amazing. Yes, everybody's saying. Do we have good support? Is Andy sitting here slaving away right behind me right now? Yes. I have put the whip away while I'm on this webinar. But yes, look at this. I mean, we do everything we possibly can to support you and to give you good stuff. So it's $297 or $39 a month if you can't afford the $297. But I will promise you this. If there is any tool in your arsenal that you should delete and stop using other tools for to pay for Hot Prospector, this is that tool, right? Like if you have Aweber and you're like, well, I don't know, do I need Aweber or do I need Hot Prospector? Fire Aweber and use us, because I guarantee you most of you don't need any of the things that Aweber has compared to what you have in Hot Prospector. If somebody here is paying for a CRM, I guarantee you most of the features that are in the CRM you won't be using. So get rid of it and use a tool that has all the stuff that you need that you will actually use. So there you go. I'm off my soapbox. How much do we suggest charging others if we resell it? Good question, Sean. I would piecemeal it out, right? So here's some ideas of how you can sell it. Check this out. This is something I did with somebody on the phone a couple of days ago. It was like, man, I don't have a lot of knowledge on anything. I don't know what I can sell. I just got in this business, whatever. Okay? If anybody here in that boat, anybody here just getting into this business, don't know anything about websites, don't know how to sell or how to create anything, you're afraid of technology. Yeah, a lot of people are saying yes. Okay, check this out. You're going to love this. So I'm in Hot Lead Finder, and I'm going to type in, let's do roofer. It's always my go-to thing, roofer. All right, so I'm going to type in roofer, Las Vegas, and I've selected Google Ads. Check this out. I'm going to hit search. Now what it's doing is it's going to Google, and it's searching ads, and it's grabbing their phone number out of the ad. Okay? Now I'm going to select, I'm going to hit stop, and then I'm going to hit get citation. So when you hit get citation, what it does is it's going and it's looking to see where that phone number is listed. Now this is actually something that we've got to fix. Normally it actually works better. This is part of what I was telling my developer. We just made a change that took out all the dashes in these phone numbers, and when you search on Google without the dashes, it's not showing them up. But once we put those dashes back in, you'll see that a lot of these people have these phone numbers listed in other places besides their Google ad. Well, that doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense at all for you to take this phone number that's listed on your ad and also listed on Yellow Pages and listed in Yelp and listed in, all these other directories. Because what happens? Well, then you don't have the ability to track. Again, this isn't working right. We're going to fix this. But you don't have the ability to track where your calls are coming in. So here's a very easy service. You run the system, and then, and by the way, if you want to use this, you can back up, go to version 3.95, and it'll work fine. It just changed on this last version. So if you want to, wait until we fix this to upload to 3.96, if this is a feature that you want to do, then that's what I suggest you do. But we're going to have it fixed here in the next update. My developer's already working on it. But anyways, I would call them up and I'd say, look, I just found your website, your business on Google Ads. I know you're paying for people to find you, but did you also know that that number is on Yellow Pages? Did you also know that that number is on? And what happens is over here in the citations, it will show when you click on this all of the sites that is on besides the Google ad. And I'll call them up and tell them, and I say, look, let's do this. I'm going to sell you an individual number that you can use for your Google ads where it will record all your calls. You'll have reporting. I didn't go into the reporting here and stuff, but you'll have full reporting. You'll be able to see what's being said on the phone when people call in. You'll be able to see how many calls you're getting on your ad, all of that stuff. I would not be spending money on my Google ads if I didn't have the way to see how many calls are coming in. So that's just a good foot in the door service. And guess what? Only thing you need to know how to do is this. Add campaign, type in the name, purchase a phone number, click add, right? Just like I showed you guys a little while ago, and create a call flow. The call flow could be as simple as transferring that phone call that comes in directly to their phone number on their their business phone number. So their business will keep their same phone number. You're just going to forward it over to their phone number. So you're going to work as a go-between that's going to record all their calls and track all that. Pretty cool, right? And that's an easy foot-in-the-door service. If you aren't afraid to pick up the phone and just call somebody and let them know that you found their phone number in Google Ads, but then you also seen it was on Yellow Pages and it was on Facebook and it was on here and it was there, and they're advertising their number all over the place, so there's no way they can track their calls. If you're not afraid to do that, well, there's an easy way for you to go in and get a new client. How much can you charge them? You can charge them $100 a month for something like that. Use that as a foot in the door, and then say, hey, then start talking to them about doing some email marketing to their customers, because you can set them up a campaign and send them emails. You can, talk to them about doing text message campaigns and all kinds of stuff. Harris asked, can we record those calls for them? Yeah, absolutely. All the calls are recorded. So that way they can come in here. So check it out. I'll click on call log, and you can see here's a call log for this Mr. Plumber. See all the calls that he's received. You can see the number that they were transferred through, and you can see the phone number that called in. You can also see voicemails that were left. Somebody left voicemails. Here's what a voicemail looks like. So I can come in here and click on it and then listen to the voicemail. Yes, it's powerful. Thank you, Harris. I appreciate that. Do I have any lists of training or various uses for Hot Prospector? Terry, yes, I do. And that's what I was saying. If you're not subscribed to me on YouTube, go and subscribe to me on YouTube, because I do training all the time. Let me just go ahead and put that link back in there again. I do training all the time on different things. Like yesterday, look, let me just show you this. Go to my Facebook. Like, I'm full of these types of things. That's all I do. I use Facebook I use Hot Prospector every day. So look, here I am. Here's my feed. I did a training here where I did an email broadcast to 60 prospects, and you can actually see I teach you how to do it here. This video is like 5 minutes. And then here is an hour call that's recorded. Look at this, 59 minutes. You can listen to this call. I actually closed this guy. Here. So I'll drop this in for you guys who want it. This is a call that I did yesterday. I closed this customer on the phone for $297 and $99 per month. It's a merchant service guy. Sold him Hot Prospector. Yes, Terry, it is way cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, yeah, you want to become a friend of mine on Facebook for sure. You want to follow me on YouTube for sure, because I drop stuff like that, like gold nuggets all over the place. That's just because I've got nothing else better to do. Well, I better close Facebook because I'm getting a friend request now. There you go. Ian asked, is it legal to record phone calls without permission? Well, Ian, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to give you legal advice. But let me ask you this. Facebook, where are you? Because it is open. Let me turn down the volume. I'm not an attorney, so I can't give you legal advice, but let me ask you this question. If a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there, did it make a sound? I think you could read between the lines of what I'm saying there. If you're recording those phone calls, you have no intent on using them in the court of law, then how would somebody know that you recorded them? Unless they come and seize your files, right? So the reason why people tell them, hey, I'm recording this call, is because they may want to use it later. Now, if you ever want to use those recordings, then you definitely want to tell somebody, hey, I'm recording this call. Because guess what? If later on I need to use it, I told you I recorded you. Make sense? Cool. Does this system automatically announce the call is being recording? You can do that, Sharon. Actually, you can do that. Watch. Go into Hot Prospector. We'll go into the inbound. And in your customizing of the call flow, you can actually say, okay, so here we've got all these. Let me remove all this. Remove. By the way, do you guys see how, I'm not afraid to, delete anything? It's okay. You're not going to break this system. It's all web-based. Remove. You know what? Let's just do this. Let's create a new campaign. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Select the group. Phone number. Add. Okay. So check it out. The very first option that you get in your customizing of, gosh, I'm having a cookie issue again. Make sure you let Rana know about this, please. This issue. It happens always on my Chrome. I don't know why. Anyways, you want to drag over the greeting. You guys won't have this issue, I'm hoping, on your end. But what's happening is it's not. It's like cooking in my inbound campaign. So whenever I open up a new one, it's showing all of this stuff. Anyways, the first option that you would want to use is the greeting option. So when they call in, they would hear your greeting, and then that greeting would then say, "Hi, just to let you know, all calls are recorded for quality assurance," and then transfer. Make sense? Who was that asked the question? Whoever that was asked the question. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, let me know. Sharon, if you do, it's not a whisper. No, it's actually a message that the person who's calling would hear. We don't have whisper capabilities yet, but it's on the feature books to be added. To which is actually a whisper is really called call screening. So the person who's getting the call can screen their calls. And we do have the ability, or we have the ability to do it. We just haven't added it in yet because we're just so busy cleaning and, making sure everything else is perfect. Jurgen, if your legal advisors suggested it, then do it. Okay? Again, if you are going to use those calls for legal purposes, then yeah, you need to. Your legal advisors are going to tell you that because they want you to be able to use those calls if necessary. But again, if you're just recording the calls for whatever reason, for your, whatever, nobody's going to know unless you want to use them. But yeah, this call may be recorded for training purposes, is one, or quality assurance or whatever. It's no big deal. As long as you let them know it's being recorded. Any other questions that we have here on either the inbound or the lead? Any questions that you feel that you need clarification on, please don't be afraid to drop it in, and I will do my best to address it. But if not, then I guess we can call it a day. Is this a downloadable system? No, it's on. As you can see here, it's on a browser. It's web-based, so it's all on your system. It's all on my server, and trust me, it is very. There's a lot of changes that are done. There are people out there that give you code like this and say, "Hey, put it on your site," and guess what you end up with? A brick. Because it's very difficult for you to install, and then you have to set up everything. And then let's not even talk about changes and updates, okay? Because then you have to install the updates on your server and all that stuff. Do you really want to be doing that? No. Trust me, you don't. What we do is we have a development server, and then we have this server, the live server. So what we do is we have development features that are out right now, that we haven't put on. Like I mean, as soon as the features are bug-free, and we've tested them on there, I mean, we'll say virtually bug-free because sometimes you don't know until you have lots of users if there's really a bug. But we will test everything, and then once we find that it's good, we'll go ahead and put it on the live server, which is where you guys are. So that's what that is. How much do you suggest we charge others if we start reselling it? Not sure if I answered that. Sean, I would charge, like, if I were charging them individually, I would charge $99 bare bones minimum for SMS. $99 a month. I mean, I guess you could charge $50 a month depending on how big the business is. But $99 a month for SMS. Inbound, I would charge another $47 to $99 a month for that. Power dialer, I would charge, another $99 a month for that. So I'd piece it all together. It just depends on what they need, and it would be monthly. The guy that I sold yesterday, I charged him $297 for the first month. and then $99 a month for everything. But mainly what I was selling that person on was the same things I'm selling you guys on is like, look, this is a tool that you'll use in your business every single day. Most of the things he's going to use is the emails inside the Power Dialer. If I would have taken out the SMS and the voice broadcaster or the SMS and the mass emailer, he wouldn't have cared. He really just wanted the Power Dialer and the inbound. With the white label, is there any mention of Hot Prospector? No. There's no. Once you white label the branding and your domain, custom domain, you can turn off the training, and they won't see anything. Is the email sending unlimited? Yeah. You just have to send through your SMTP server. Now, there is something I didn't even get into today, which is the Mass Emailer tab. Inside the Mass Emailer tab, we give you the ability to add multiple SMTP. So that's the reason why you'd want the bulk emailer versus just using the Power Dialer emailer. They kind of function the same. The difference is the Mass Emailer will rotate emails. So if you have a large list, let's say you had 2,000 emails, but your server only lets you send out 500 a day. Well, then you can set up 4 different emails accounts, or SMTP accounts, and then what will happen is once it hits the 500 cap, then it'll go to the next one, and then the next one, and the next one until it exhausts all of your SMTP servers and hopefully sends through your entire email broadcast that you're trying to send. So that's why we added that. So, if you have limits on the servers that you're using. Now, let me just say, we are no longer supporting free email services. So if you use, Gmail or Yahoo or any of those things, you got to stop. If you want to use it, go ahead, but it's at your own peril. Like, I use it because I realize how to use it. And there's a training video in there that shows you how to use it, but we're not going to get on the phone with you and show you how to set up Yahoo, 100 Yahoo emails, SMTPs, and rotate through that and spam a million people. That's not why we put this in here. It's just to get around those limits that our servers have so we can still get our emails out. Jürgen said, this looks like an amazing system. Thank you. What is the monthly amount to you for sales made to our customers? We don't charge anything to you monthly, Oliver, from your customers. The only thing you pay is for your team package. So you add a team package. You have 2 pricings available: 10 for $99, or 5 for $69. That's all you pay us. It's $69 a month for 5, so you can charge whatever you want. I suggest you get the 10. Because then you're only paying $9 a member, and whatever you charge above and beyond that, if you're charging $99 a month or $400 a month, it's all yours. And what really makes things cook is, look, remember this. Go to hotprospector.com. Remember the Alamo. No. Where is the domain? There we go. Remember the VIP marketing services. Look, you can charge them for managing those things. Most of these people, when you get really good at this, and I guarantee you, you spend some time using the software, you're going to get so good at it. It's going to be so easy. You can charge the people who are like you are in the beginning, still learning how to use it, for your time or to run the system for them. We actually had, we have a lot of customers that we're charging $1,000 a month to that sell merchant services, and we're running email campaigns for them inside of their own Hot Prospector account. All we're doing is scheduling the emails. Like, watch. You go here to your account. Look, you go in here to your mass emailer account, and you have the ability to schedule emails. So all we do is we go in here and we write like 10 different emails or whatever, schedule them all out, and we're done for the month. and that's a managed service. So now I'm charging somebody to come in and create a schedule of emails that gets sent out automatically, and I'll charge them $1,000 for that per month. So again, what really makes Hot Prospector awesome for you on a team level is you can charge them for to have access to this account, but you can really charge them a lot more if you're charging them to do managed services. Can you explain a little bit more about the white label or reseller opportunity? I'm interested in selling seats. Yeah, it's easy. Once you set up your account, right? You purchase your account. It's $297 or $39 a month, whichever one you choose. You purchase your account. Come in here. Click on Profile. Click on Custom Themes. Select your color themes and all that good stuff. Once you do that, go into Domain Management. Let's say you own, coolprospector.com. I don't know if that's available or not. Maybe it is. It probably is. Coolprospector.com. Whoever buys that, who's on this webinar right now, good for you. So let's say coolprospector.com is your domain. You buy it. You set your domain as coolprospector.com. Then we'll get a notification that you added it, and then you'll have to also go into your own host and change the name servers. Change the name servers to point to the name servers that we give you. And then once you do that, you'll need to get an SSL cert. I think you can get those, you can get those anywhere. We also sell them. But once you do that, you're all set. Now, in order for that custom domain to be active and us to add it to our system, you have to have a team account. And in order to get a team account, you just click here inside your team. Everybody has this tab here. Click on Team, click Add New Member, select one of these two packages. You've got monthly and yearly. Select one of these two packages and purchase it. Once you purchase that, your added domain or your custom domain will be free. Now, you want to do this before you try to add your custom domain, because if you try to do the custom domain first, then it's going to ask you to pay $200 for the custom domain. But if you do the team member first, then it won't ask you to pay anything for the custom domain. Make sense? So that's your only charge. Your only charge, everybody has the ability to come in here and white label the system. How many domains can we offer this under? You can only have one per system. If you want to have multiple systems, from a logistical standpoint, it doesn't even make sense for you to have more than one domain anyways under. So if you want to have, and I understand why you'd want to do that, because I'm doing it. I own merchantprospector.com, right? I keep them completely separate. Merchant Prospector is one site with its own system where I can see all those customers, and then Hot Prospector is a different account. So if you want to have multiple domains because you're trying to brand a specific, and that makes a lot of sense, by the way. If you're going to buy this, one of the best ways to sell it, if you're going to resell this, one of the best ways to resell it is go after like a specific niche, like real estate or insurance or merchant account or merchant service guys or multi-level marketing companies. You name it. There's just so many different types of niches that you can target. You could even target restaurants. Call it the restaurant prospecting system, whatever you want. Because even restaurants, I showed this to a pizza shop. This is funny, right? You wouldn't expect this. I showed this to a pizza shop. He's like, oh my gosh, we've been looking for a system like this. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, because we have all these emails of our customers that they get, and we want to send out pizza offers and stuff like that, and they can do that with Hot Prospector. And we have like full on when you're creating an email, look. Compose email, sorry. When you're creating an email, look, you got all the HTML source and everything in here. They can create really cool emails, add images and HTML, graphics and fonts and all that stuff right here. So this is perfect for any type of business. So what I'm getting at is that if you are going to target different niches, I would suggest you buy a domain that's specific towards that niche, like, Restaurant Prospector or Pizza Guy Prospector or something like that, rather than go general. But if you don't have a specific niche and you plan on going after a bunch of niches, then go with something like Cool Prospector or Cool cool prospecting solution or cool selling system, or there's all different types of domains that you can purchase. Wow, I'm surprised there's so much activity still after we've been on here this long. This is pretty cool. I mean, I'm glad you guys are loving it. Let's see here. Does the domain branding include merchant prospector website white labeled? Yeah, well, the merchant prospector site is just Hot Prospector, right? So the domain branding, you put your own domain, you change your own logos and all that stuff. That's all inclusive once you actually have a team package. Gary, Mark, can you explain the get leads and review part? I did a search for the reviews, but the reviews aren't showing. You know what, Gary? This feature, actually, the Get Leads tab, it's going to go away. And I'm going to tell you why. I haven't done it yet. As a matter of fact, we're going to put a notice in here soon that's going to say, that, it's when they click on this, it's going to say this feature is no longer going to be available after such and such time. To continue, download Hot Lead Finder. Because Hot Lead Finder replaced the Get Leads tab. This was before Hot Lead Finder. We had the Get Leads tab in here because we didn't have a scraper, right? Well, since recently we added this Google functionality, we just blew this Get Leads tab out of the water. It doesn't even make sense why I didn't take it out sooner. So in order to clean this tab up, the Get Leads tab is going to go away. So hopefully I answered your question with that. Ian asked, does Hot Prospector have an API? Are there any future plans for an API? The answer is yes, we have an API already. It's a full-blown web service API that anybody who wants to integrate with us can, and I'm completely open to it. So yeah, if you want access to the API, please contact me so we can talk about what your plans are, and I'll get you access to the API. It's pretty cool. It allows you to do lots of different stuff, and if there's something that you want our API to do that we don't do yet, then yeah, let me know, and we'll try to program it in. Like you can add contacts, you can add groups, and you can add fields and all kinds of stuff with our API. It's pretty awesome. Where is the website grader found? How do I look it up? How do I hook it up to my account? JD, good question. Go into Power Dialer. First thing you have to do in order to send out a Power Dialer, well, just first off, there's two ways to do it. You could either send it as a broadcast, which is the way I suggest you do it, is, come in here, create a Power Dialer campaign, which I went through in the very beginning of this webinar, so I'm not going to go through it again. But create a campaign. When you create a campaign, you'll see it listed here like this. Click Select Template, select your email template. Now again, this is all assuming that you've already set up an email template inside of the templates. The templates are right here, okay? So click the Select Template, select the template, and then tick this box that says Website Grader Report and click Update. And then it will actually open up in a new tab, which I'm not going to send out, but it'll open up in a new tab once you click Send, and then it'll send out your Website Grade Reports. The other way to do it is to click Start, and then you can do them one at a time, but you have to have a website, right? So if you go here and go to, you type in a website, we'll type in, actually I don't want to do that in this campaign because I'm actually using it. This is that campaign that I did yesterday. I just did 60 emails and landed a deal. Anyway, so you just click on this button here, Start. Once you fill out, so we got a website address here, and we just type in hotprospector.com, whatever email or whatever website that you want to do your website grade report on. Just click this button here that says Website Grader, and what will happen is it will go and generate this report. So this takes about a minute or so to generate the report. And then once the report's generated, you're going to see another screen that pops up that allows you to select the email template that you want to use to send the email. Now, this feature here takes longer, but this is like, hey, I'm on the phone with somebody right now and I want to send them a report. Versus the other feature that I was showing you where you're blasting out, you're blasting out a bunch of them to a bunch of people just as a prospecting method. And the other way, just so you know, it doesn't generate all the reports at once. It generates the report when the person clicks the link, or else we would be having like our server would just be like overloaded. Hopefully that answers your question. So while that's generating, I'll just take another question. Johnny, yeah, it would be great to integrate with Zapier. We have plans to do that. We just didn't do it because we had ideas like of creating our own lead forms and stuff before we actually went that route. But I like Zapier as well. It's cool. How does Video Prospector work with Hot Prospector? Well, Doc, the best way to explain it is Video Prospector uses the API that I was telling you about. And that's why we created the API, was so we can actually do what I just told you about. Basically what happens is when a video is created inside of Video Prospector, it automatically will load that video and that contact that it created the video for into Hot Prospector. And I use that as a prospecting method as well. So there you go. See, the website grader report is done. And this is what the report would look like. So you can see the grade of the website. You can see if they have a blog, how many pages, Twitter profile, Facebook, all that stuff. Boy, this guy at hotprospector.com really could use some help on SEO, huh? But that's the report. That's what it looks like. Cool. Let me close that. I missed the entire webinar, just got back. Do you have any list of features that will be added down the road? Johnny, I don't have the list of features down the road. I mean, I'll tell you just off the top of my head, we've got some improvements coming down the road for the inbound. I'm planning on adding a bunch of CRM functionalities. Like one of the things that we're working on is having the ability to attach a document to a contact, which I think they're working on that now. So if you have like something that you want to attach to a contact here, you can have that. We're going to have the ability for you to go in and schedule text messages that get sent out annually or monthly or whatever. Like, what do you call it? Like an annual type of, like, let's say you have a customer who has a birthday. Every year automatically it will send out a birthday message. Or maybe you have a customer who every month they need a message sent to them to tell them to pay their bill, right? You can go in and create a template, an invoice template, and then have this send out their invoice or their bill every month. Those types of things. We've got some. I'm planning on adding landing pages, which is kind of like lead pages, but not going to be as robust. So little things like that. We've got a ton of little things that we're adding, and it's going to take us some more time. But like I said, we have lots of, and it's not going to make it. We're not trying to make it to where this whole system is like even more complicated. Any of the features that we add is just going to simplify what you're actually doing. We're also planning on streamlining things. I'd like, we may even in the future do a what do you call it? Like a new user interface, and give you guys the option to switch between the two. The new user interface is something I've been thinking about as well that would be more like, I don't know, like a campaign style interface, so you can set up like a if this then that type of a campaign. What is the bounce rate? I don't know what you mean, Karen. Can I show an actual report? I just did. This is the report. I mean, I don't know what you mean. If you're talking about the bounce rate on on the email bounce, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. What is my email bounce rate? My email bounce rate whenever I send emails to people is it's always different depending on how good my list is. I know what you mean. I know what an email bounce is, but I don't know what you mean by what's my bounce rate. I mean, like if I have a list that has 100 emails and 99 of them are bad, then my bounce rate's 99%. So I don't know exactly what you mean. Please, how do I get the video to populate in a hot prospector from the auto send the YouTube bits? I don't know, JD, what you mean. If you could be more specific and tell me what you're specifically talking about. Videos upload through email. Can you were able to import with HP? Can you do that anymore? Videos upload through email. For Video Prospector, and I don't want to go into that here on this webinar because I don't want to confuse people who don't have it or get confused. But Video Prospector, when it creates a video, it uploads it to YouTube and embeds it into the email and all that stuff, and it still sends all of that. It does that, but the feature that we recently added to Video Prospector was integration into Hot Prospector, which basically, if you look here, I was just this campaign that I was looking at earlier. Here's one, the 490 auto campaign. This was one of our campaigns that we ran through Video Prospector. You see how you have this video link here? See how you have this tab that says video link or this button that says video link or field that says video link? That is what was added by Video Prospector into Hot Prospector. So this is the video that was completed for this particular contact when it was uploaded. You have to have this information. All pros do. Karen, Karen, okay, and I'm sorry if I'm misunderstanding this. My email bounce rate I'm not a server of emails. You see what I'm saying? So your server, whoever you're running your emails through, your SMTP server, is controlling the emails. So I can't tell you what my bounce rate is if I'm not serving your emails. It's all provided by your profile. So you go in here to your profile. Remember, you add your SMTP details. So, okay, that cleared it up. Glad. Sorry about that. I guess there was just a miscommunication. You thought that I was serving your emails. No, we don't serve your emails. Yes, it's connected to your email. You put in your own SMTP details. Do you have some automation like schedule emails out? Yes, we do. We have a few automation tools, Johnny. The first one here is scheduling emails out, like I showed you here in the mass emailer. You can schedule out emails. We have triggers, but the triggers are only at this point on Power Dialers triggers for contact status. So let me show you. To go here to update call status. Let's see here. Okay, so here I'm in the call campaign status. Oh, we actually added something else that's pretty cool. I'll show you while I'm in here. But check this out. You can create an email that's automatically sent, and then you can create an email template and have it automatically sent when a contact hits when you hit that status. So, for example. Maybe you want an email to be sent out every single time you schedule a callback. So you want to give them some additional information that they can have to look over while they're waiting for your callback, right? You can select that. Maybe you have an email that you want to have sent out whenever somebody is a new customer. So you can have like a welcome email. Maybe you have an email that you want to send out on your 5th attempt if you don't get a hold of somebody. That's automatically sent. You can do that. These are our triggers for call status. You can also do the same thing for SMS templates. So if you have SMS templates that you want to send out, you can do that. But this is something that we recently just added, and I bet you a lot of you didn't even know it was here. We recently allowed you to actually move and duplicate contacts from your power dialer or even from your contacts tab. So this is very powerful. So let's say you want to create a group of customers, and every time you sell a customer, you want to move it to that customer group. Well, this is cool. Now we've set it up to where you can either move or duplicate a contact into another group automatically based on a call status. So let's say every single time, and now this is actually a reason why we did this is to sort your contacts. But let's say you just want to call back everybody that was not interested one day, or you just want to call back everybody that was sent out a specific, whatever it is. Maybe they were sent an email and you marked them that status. Okay, all you would have to do is they're all added into that group, and then all you have to do after you've had them moved or duplicated into that group is then go into your Power Dialer campaign and select that group, and then you can call that group of contacts. Does that make sense? So if I mark somebody as Spanish, let's say, okay, or a non-English speaker, and this is a big one. Back in the day, if you're calling certain businesses or you're calling residences or whatever, they have Spanish speakers, and you don't speak Spanish, you can mark them as Spanish, and then somebody can call that group of just Spanish. Can I talk about the difference between send reach? Yeah, there's no comparison, Karen. I mean, send reach is an email marketing system. That's all they do. We're not an email marketing system, so we're not comparable to them. We have email capabilities, and like I said, some of those things that are in send reach are really awesome. We'll never add them because that's not what we're trying to be. Can we change the status name and keywords to accommodate custom? Yeah, you can create add a custom status just by clicking Add Status, and then when you create a status, you can select whether you want that call status to be recycled if it's marked in that status or not. What that means is, will it come back up in the list of calls if somebody hits that status? So, for example, do not call would be a no recall status, whereas unavailable would be a recall status of yes. But yeah, you can actually do that. We also have it set up to where you can, if you don't want these default statuses to show up, you can actually hide them. So let's say you don't want hot prospect to show up. You just click on hide, and now it's invisible. You don't want no answer to show up. Just click that, hide, and it's invisible. Or you can even delete it if you want. You can add your own and delete whatever. You can also move them around, and people don't notice this, but look, if you want them to be in different positions, you want do not call at the top, or you want do not call, just click on it and drag it, and you can move it around. Do your VAs close deals for you? No, not the I don't have any VAs that close deals for me. I wish, but no. How many campaigns can you run simultaneous? You can run as many as you want, Sharon. No luck on setting up voice broadcaster, huh? David, what do you mean? Voice broadcaster, add campaign. Name it, select your group, select the time you want the campaign to go out, select the number you want a call to be transferred to if they press 1. Select your caller ID number you want to show up on people's phone when you call them. Select the transfer digit you want someone to press whenever whatever your message says, press 1 to be connected to us. Here's your do not call digit, press 8 to be removed, whatever you have on that message. Here's where you upload your broadcast message, either an audio file or text to speech. Here's the message that they hear when they're being transferred. Here's the message they hear if they say do not call anymore. Here's the message that they hear if they call you back. That's it. It's so simple. I went through that fast, but there's a training video inside the training section. Compared to Karen, you're comparing me to all kinds of people, aren't you? I'm not going to mention this person's name, so if you want to know individually, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you this. I won't mention the person's name. There is no comparison, and I don't think anybody who has been on that person's webinar that looks at what that person's tool does compared to this tool could ever say. And I'm not saying anything negative about that person. I'm just saying that this completely blows any tool out of the water. There's nothing online even like it compared to people who spend, who have big companies, $1 million companies can't compare to Hot Prospector, and this person's tool can't compare to this as well. So again, it's completely different. David, if you have a specific question, feel free to drop it in here so I can answer it for you. Is the voice prospector the same tool or separate that we used in Atlanta? The voice broadcast tool that you're looking at here is using Twilio. The other tool that we used in Atlanta was a separate tool, and I use that one when I'm going to do big campaigns, just because when you're dialing out like 10,000 numbers, Twilio can be expensive. If you're just doing small campaigns, then Twilio's fine. So it is a separate system, which is Voice Prospector. I won't get into it, but if you're a high volume user and you know who you are, hit me and I'll help you out. If you don't have Voice Prospector and you want to get a high volume system, then hit me up and we'll do something there. I'll show you how that works and I'll sell you that system. Thanks, Diane. Appreciate that. Allison, yes, Hot Prospector's voice broadcaster is different because it's a more basic version of the one that you have in Voice Prospector. Voice Prospector, like I said, is more of a high volume system. It's set up for people who do a lot of voice broadcast calls, and it's perfect for the high volume user. Step far away from it, did you answer this? So the automotive syndication video was populated into HP by Video Prospector. JD, I still am not understanding what the automotive syndication video was, because I don't have an automotive syndication video. Oh, you're probably talking about that initial call when I was calling earlier and I told the guy who was an automotive dealer. Yeah, that wasn't an automotive syndication video. Sorry about that. You got confused. There was no video that was that video was automatically populated by Video Prospector, but it wasn't an automotive syndication video. I just started pitching him on automotive syndication because he was a car dealer and I knew that I could sell him that. Yeah. My Energizer batteries are charged. You know what? It's because I don't have anything else I'm supposed to be doing right now, or else I'd be gone already. We're going on 3 hours. Thanks. But you're right. I am actually still ticking, and I'll probably keep on going after this. Actually, I'll probably grab lunch after this. It's almost 2 o'clock here. JD, that video was just a video about their website. That's all. It was a Video Prospector video about their website. See you later, Diane. Okay, if I have the light version of HP, I'm going to answer 2 more questions, and I'm going to end this because we've been on here for a long time. If I have the light version of HP, is there an upgrade path to full, Jim? Yeah, you would just go in as a normal upgrade, which I'll drop the link in here again if you don't have it. Just go to, and you'll set up a new account, but then just hit us up in support after you've set up that new account, and we can move your subscription over to the old account if you want to keep the old account. If you don't care about the old account, then just set up the new account and you're good to go. 2 more questions and we're done. Does the website grader reproduce the video? No. Video Prospector produces the video. That's one. We got one more question, and then we're going to call it a day. David, can I explain? Okay, can I spend a little more time explaining voice broadcast so we can get it set up like in Atlanta, where it calls out and the numbers come back to various numbers? Okay, David, the system that I used in Atlanta is not the voice broadcast here. It's not this. I used Hot Prospector only for the inbound capability, which was to deliver the calls to multiple people. And the reason why I did that was because I had 40 people in that room that we were calling for, right? So all of you guys, what I did was I created teams. Actually, you can see it here. Here's Team 1, here's Team 2, here's Team 3, and then we also had other teams set up, which they're all gone now, but I had teams set up that didn't get any calls. So basically what I was doing is I was adding you guys all to groups, so that way when a call came in on that number, it was transferred to that number, it would ring all of your phone calls at the same time. Now, if it's just you, you don't need that. All you need to do is set up a voice broadcast campaign, press the button, and have the phone calls coming into your cell phone or your landline or whatever phone number you can have to accept calls on. As far as setting up the campaign, it's Voice Prospector. It's completely different. It's not this voice broadcast tab. If you don't have Voice Prospector, David, and you were at that event, that was something that I actually gave. You want to look at the link that I gave you and make sure that you got it, that you signed up for it. If you didn't, then go sign up for it. And if you have questions, you got my contact info. Hit me up, and I'll show you. There's actually training tab, or not training tab, but there's a training PDF that shows you how to use Voice Prospector. It's not the same as this voice broadcast. So, not trying to not answer your question. I just didn't understand what you're asking until now. So I got one more question since we didn't really answer that question. Anybody else? Going once. David, will they see your actual cell phone number? Yeah, whatever number you show them on the caller ID is what they see. What's nice about Voice Prospector versus the Hot Prospector is Voice Prospector you can put in whatever number you want on your caller ID, whereas Hot Prospector is you're only allowed to show numbers that you own in Twilio on your caller ID. Last question we'll leave is for Ian or Ian. When will I integrate with Zapier? When I get around to it. It's the only thing I can tell you, because it's not a high priority. I mean, if you can give me, some things that get me excited about it, then I'm all over it, and we'll make it a really big priority. But with our lead forms, I don't really see anything major that's like, gosh, I got to get integrated with Zapier, because there's nobody besides you and a few other people that even knows about Zapier, let alone that will actually use it. We do have the ability. We do have the function. I do want to do it mainly from a marketing standpoint, so that way we can say, hey, look, we're integrated with Zapier, but it's not a high priority. Awesome, guys. Well, hey, I appreciate everybody for coming out today and hanging out with me for almost 3 hours. Like I said, there was not really any agenda today to sell you on anything, pitch you on anything. The whole reason for this webinar was just, hey, if you didn't have Hot Prospector, hopefully give you a reason to push you over the edge to go get it, get off your duff and buy it. Or if you have Hot Prospector, show you how to use it and answer some questions. And I'll try to get this video loaded up onto my YouTube account here in the next few hours. It's going to take some time to render. So if you ever want to go back and look at this again, you'll be able to see it. We'll call it like the Hot Prospector Q&A webinar or something. And then I may drop it in the training tab as well. But other than that, I thank you very, very much for everything. And, yep, talk to you later. Bye.